Yo, it's your boy Rick Bell, and when I want to hear some real shit, I listen to Conceitednobodi. They keep it 100.
Oh yeah.
Couple of nobodies you should fucking listen to.
I just caught the 40, I might let it bang on them. I might rip my heart, I pour out all my pain on them. I might wanna shine, cop a couple chains on them. I might wanna stun and pull up in that Range Rover.
Cars honking. It's summer, baby.
Yeah, word, right?
It's summertime in New York City, baby. Johantheamerican, yeah. Shut the
Congratulations, you finally get to meet me.
Holy shit.
Cut it out already! Who is that? Oh, that's the Spectrum guy. The Spectrum guy got him blocked in. He's trying to get out. That's this dude right here.
Damn.
You gotta
Fucking
call
Spectrum.
Fucking
Spectrum always
Spectrum.
fucking shit
Fucking
up.
shit up, man.
Call the number.
They don't do nothing good, Spectrum. Fuck them.
Nah.
They gotta call the number.
I had Spectrum when I was in LA. When I canceled, they were so desperate to keep me. They're like, "Sir, anything."
It was sucking
Yeah, basically, it kind of felt like that. Like, come on, man, we'll give you 50% off for the next 6 months. I'm like, damn, like.
Yeah, I used to work for them back in the day.
For Spectrum?
Yeah.
When?
Back when it was Time Warner.
Oh, Time Warner.
Oh,
Okay.
That was a different time.
I think I remember that.
They had
I remember that when
they
you
first started the
major.
major when I came back from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
I had that was like the job everybody wanted. These guys were like unionized. It was like Local 3.
Yeah.
They wanted you to sit there for like 2 years making like, I think I was making like $16 an hour.
Oh my
The big thing was like overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
get that time and a half, baby.
yeah, but no, ain't nothing. No,
It's slave work.
I'm
Yeah.
doing like 10 to 11 hour
Yeah,
days
fuck
just to
that.
make a couple dollars.
Yeah.
So I went to
It's
quit
not
these
worth it.
motherfuckers, right? And the foreman was like, "You gonna quit this job? A lot of dudes is dying to get in here." I'm like, "Nah, I'm going to school, pop."
Like, well, they can.
I got big plans.
That's it.
They can get a job and die here if they want. I don't give a fuck.
You know what I
But,
mean?
Yeah, I picked that song because like my process with writing these days, I don't really write an outline for my scripts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a scene in my head, and like when I first heard this song, I had this immediate scene of this young black girl flirting with this like preppy white dude that she would never spend time with in like this basement, like, you know, like it's like a quiet moment at this house party, and I'm like, who are these characters? Why are they in this situation? And that just kind of filled out the story.
With this in the
From
background.
there, like
The
from that
music playing?
moment, like that's where I started filling in the story, and that's been like my process and shit
That's
that
fire.
I
So the
embraced.
music like inspires you to like.
Yeah, music is a big driver for all my writing. Like all my scripts have like music cues and stuff like that, which is crazy because the writers that I fuck with, like on writers groups or like I collab with at Universal, they weren't doing that, and then I started doing it,
And they picked
then,
up on it.
Yeah, they started, but their music choices are great.
Music is inspiring, yo. Of
course,
that
yeah.
shit on. That shit
It's mostly
gets your
storytelling
creative
too.
juices flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut that music off.
Or it sparks like a emotion in you and shit that
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, and you're like, oh, I can use this to drive this scene for me or something like that.
Yeah. You know, let's tell people who you are first.
Oh, what's up?
I did like a bullshit intro.
What's
part,
up?
man.
So-
I gotta practice that.
But
More.
For
between
those
the
of you
Hawkins and
listening,
stuff.
wondering who this third voice is, like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, I mentioned him a
everybody.
couple times. If y'all listen for a while, this is my man Brandon. I
What's up,
mentioned him
y'all?
a couple times. He's my LA dude. Went out
Yeah.
there writing. Came back from Hollywood after the writers' strike.
Hollywood.
Bro, that was the worst. You know what the worst part about the writer's strike for me was? Like, because I was folks, I was a part of a Universal program, so I beat like hundreds of applicants to be in this program where essentially you write a feature script and some other stuff for the studio. And so I was working at Universal, and around January last year, I remember being like, I'm hearing a lot about this potential strike. Like, what do y'all think?
You just
don't worry about
You
it.
just got there, right?
Every single person.
Don't
Up
worry
until-
about it.
Yo, I had a call with an exec at Paramount. I was about to set up a meeting because they had a deal with LL Cool J. They might still have it, but and I was going to set up a meeting the following week with this head of development. And I was like, but what about the strike? He's like, yeah, you got to think positive. No, there's not going to be a strike.
It'll be done before it's over. Before it starts.
Basically, and then the strike happened, and like all the meetings went away. I was like,
Holy shit.
but I was like, yo, like I'm not naturally a pessimist. It's just like I like to plan, right? I like to plan accordingly. So if I hear enough people will say, oh, this might happen, I'm gonna be like, okay, what should I do then?
You should have some concerns. That's normal.
And everyone was just like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm like,
I tell you, if enough people tell me don't worry about it, it's not gonna happen, I'm fucking
That's when
worried.
I'm worried.
It's like, all right.
I think my number's 6. If 6 people say don't worry about it, I'm worried.
well, that was what was concerned is because like you're hearing all the studio people and people that are like the decision makers in the industry say it's not going to happen, but then all the writers are like, we're going to strike.
Yeah,
You're
fuck
like,
this.
Well,
They're like, yeah, fuck
Talk to
this.
these guys because they under the impression that
So you heard word of that around January. And when you got to LA?
I got to LA in May 2022. Yeah, it was a quick turnaround because I found out I got in the program early April. It was a wild day too because I just interviewed Anthony Anderson and Tracy Ellis Ross about the last season of Blackish, and I got to like tell them like how much that show meant to me, and I was like, man, this is a great day.
what was
And
their
then-
reactions at?
I mean, they were very appreciative. I mean, it's an important show, like because not only did it talk about the Black experience, especially in the suburbs and shit, which I connected to a lot, but it also like I don't know if y'all watched the show, but in the later seasons they had like some serious stuff. They had like a storyline about Bo potentially having a miscarriage. They had like a almost half season long storyline where they got divorced or they separated.
Yeah.
And that shit was intense.
that's
Like
real
it was
shit.
real.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I remember I just got to tell them, I'm like, yo, when y'all did that election episode about Obama, and they talked about the fear that black people had when he was walking to the inauguration. Because I thought he was going to get shot. Yeah. And like Anthony Anderson's monologue in that, I was like, that's one of the most powerful things I've ever seen in my life. And thank you so much for articulating that for me. And so it was just dope to be able to do that. Then as soon as I got off the call, my phone rings, the LA number. I'm like, well, that can only be one person, And so that's when I called and they were like, yo, you're in the program and we need you here in a month and a half.
That's why.
Like,
Pack your shit.
yo, I was like, I got to quit this job. I had a dope job at the time. And had to figure it out.
What was that like? Because you had to make a big life decision here. This is like one of those do or die moments. Do I give up safety and security?
Yeah.
Just bought a house.
I just bought a house. Yeah.
Yeah.
had been there a little over a year.
Yeah.
By that point, I got the
And
call.
then LA's calling. That's crazy.
But I had been interviewing since like the previous June. So the wife and I
You was ready. You was anticipating
Yeah,
something.
we kind of knew that like it's a possibility, especially once I kept advancing. But then we were like in limbo, like and waiting for like 4 months to find out the final decision. But Tati was like my wife, Tatiana. She was she's very confident I got it. And I was like, all right, well if I get it, then let me plan accordingly. Let me put some money together, like on the side, just to be ready. And the only problem is I had gotten a new job in November, and I didn't tell them like that is
There's a possibility.
because I
right.
don't want to fuck it up.
not
Of
their
course,
business.
it was like
That's
the
not
highest
their
paid
business.
job.
Fuck
I don't
them,
think you
yo.
need to tell them.
Fuck
Yeah.
them.
Fuck out of here,
I felt
yo.
bad because I had to quit. And in retrospect, I didn't have to quit. I should have kept the job and just made it work for like a year or something like that. But yeah, like I had to tell him like after like 6 months or whatever, like, hey, I got to go to LA.
I'm going to LA.
Or whatever. And the problem, like, reason I couldn't make it work is because for the job, I was already waking up at like 4 a.m. here because I was working remote and my whole team was international. So I'm like getting up to them. It's like 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I'm a hella late, right? And so I'm like, I can't do 3 hours earlier than 4 a.m.
You working
now.
at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
You working at
fucking lose
the
my
night
mind.
shift.
And so
Working the night shift from home. Fuck that.
yeah, so that's why I was like, I can't make it work. So I had to quit. And yeah, we went to LA. I found an apartment within like my second day there.
Really?
I got
in
raised.
LA. That's like, because I heard it's really hard.
Well, you know what
Yeah,
it
that's
is?
what I
It's because Tati has great credit and I had mad money saved.
Okay.
So wait, once
good
they saw
combination.
You
once-
was ready
when
for
we were
that,
together.
yeah.
Once we applied, because I found a complex immediately. I was like, "This works as a studio. There's a pool, there's a gym. I
Perfect.
can walk to the studio. Like it's perfect."
Wow.
And as soon as they ran her credit and saw how much I had in savings, they were like, "Okay, yeah, you guys are
good.
You can move it today if you wanted." Like, that's how quickly they
Oh,
work.
shit.
Because I think it's hard for like certain rental companies to find qualified tenants that they don't have to worry about.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So I think once we did that, they were like, "All right, cool." And so
Yeah, that's good. 'Cause a lot
Nice,
of people
man.
say like, yo, they have a hard time getting people to rent.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And people have a hard time finding apartments too, because like either like they don't have great credit or like they just don't have the money because it is expensive. Like we were paying $2,000 for a studio apartment in LA.
And you need the first month up front, the security
Yeah.
deposit. You do need a lot
out
of money
there,
up
we had the
front.
security deposit.
Yeah.
Security deposit in first month, yeah, but we didn't have to do any like extra
Okay.
stuff, so that was helpful. And the security deposit was like $500 because typically it's
It's
1
not that
month's
bad.
rent.
It's usually the same as the first month. Yeah, that's
and
why.
so like that was cool. So we got to use the remainder of that just to buy the furniture for the apartment and shit.
So how long
fire,
into
yo.
LA
Being
where is it
bi-coastal.
was it like the strike happened?
That was the following year. So
okay.
It was like a year
It was like
2
around
months.
April, right? April, May,
It was,
2023.
So I get the lines blurred. It was May. Yeah, it was
It
like
was
a year
May,
later.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I always get the line because I got there so early, and then we had a 13-month lease.
Yeah.
So like we didn't technically leave till end of June. Time got wild.
You stayed there until your lease was up, and then you was like, "Fuck this." 'Cause
Yeah,
once you realized the strike was gonna keep going on indefinitely,
I couldn't manage
making-
a mortgage and a rent.
and rent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because I was basically without a job at that point.
You bi-coastal and unemployed.
Yeah.
Holla, fuck.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yo, and then the thing was, because I was bi-coastal, I knew I was like, we can't make this work because I was getting fucked on unemployment. Because New York was saying I got called California, and California was saying I got called New York. So I couldn't even get unemployment. Luckily, I got some consulting work like immediately after, which kept me afloat for a while. But
shit.
yeah, it was like, what the, like to your point, Ghost, it was like, I got to give up all the security for this thing to
And
work.
that motherfucking security went, damn
And
it.
it went, and like, you know, the writer strike, but like I'm still pushing through, and I'm still doing my thing and like trying to stay creative and stay positive and stuff like that.
Yeah, you had the
I feel
comedy
like-
show. You still
Yeah.
doing shows out
Yeah.
here.
I feel like as bad as it was actually, in my opinion, the best time for it to happen to you because, in like from your career standpoint, that's pretty much as bad as it gets, right? You want to think about a lockout when you can't earn. You know what I mean? You can't do what you do. How do you make it? You know what I mean? And like being able to say that, like, yo, I survived that in that time period. If it were to happen again, you're not gonna be as like scared. Like, all right, you'll
and
go
the
figure it out.
chances of it happening again, you good because
Well,
you went through the worst part.
It also just helps you get through like lulls in your career and like lows and stuff. Like right now, like, I'm going through a lull, right? Like I don't have a full-time job. I'm like just hustling, freelancing, still doing the writing and stuff. But I've had moments where I'm like, damn, like this sucks. Like I shouldn't have done that shit. Like, you know. But then I'm like, if I push through this, it's gonna change. Like,
You're gonna
there's
get to the other
I'm gonna get
side,
to the other
yeah.
side, and
Right,
like.
right.
The fortunate thing is I got so many people in my life that are like encouraging, that like believe in what I'm doing. So like I know eventually something will work out.
Right.
You know, despite all the shit that's happening in the business and like uncertainty and like having a mortgage to pay and like, things like that. But at the same time, it's New York City, and I've always said like, yo, if you're not able to keep a roof over your head in New York City, you're not doing it right. Like, because like legit, if I just couldn't find something to do, at the very least, I know. Hey, I get a car, I Uber like all night, like you know what I mean. I'll do something.
There's something.
There's ways
It's
to
New
make
York
money
City,
out
like it doesn't. There's always something going on. There's always an opportunity to make money.
I always say it should get too rough. I'm gonna hit the streets again. Fuck it.
I'm good. I ain't never going back to that shit. Yo, fuck that. I learned that shit a long time
If
ago.
it gets
Fuck
too
that.
crazy, you know what I mean? Like there was a time period during COVID in that first week where the shelves was empty.
Oh,
and
nah.
motherfuckers didn't know what's going on. I was standing at the window like I was Bane from Batman and shit. Like
There was a moment when COVID happened when they were shutting everything down. I put wifey onto some things, and she was like, "I didn't think you had this in you." And I was just like, "Well, there was a time before you knew me that I had to get shit done." Like I thought they were gonna shut the bridges and tunnels down.
Yeah.
I was preparing for that. I was like, if they shut the bridges and tunnels down, it's gonna be crazy in New York.
Yeah. I mean, there was a moment where like it felt like the world was gonna end.
for 2
Yeah.
seconds.
For like
For like a good
when New
2
York-
weeks. For like 2 weeks.
Y'all remember?
Yeah, not too long.
But remember that week? Remember like it was like a Sunday, and everyone was kind of like, "Is this fucking?
Is
about to
this
shut-"
real? Is this real?
And then I remember on Tuesday at my job, at least.
We got the
It's
party
New York
outside.
City, baby. We in the hood.
But I remember a Tuesday of whatever week it shut down and shit, where like, you know, the state was like,
It was
no
de
one goes
Blasio.
into,
I think de Blasio.
yeah,
the
they were
press
like, no
conference
one
he
goes
had.
into work. Everyone stay the
Yeah,
fuck home.
he was like,
I
stay
don't-
home because you're risking my
Yeah.
health now.
I don't care what you do. I don't care
Right.
what your
Yeah.
job is. Everyone stay
I
home.
remember that press conference. I was
Yeah.
like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and so I remember like just being on lockdown, telling my team, I had to tell 2 campuses what was happening, like in New York City. And so, but everyone was cool, like, because this is unprecedented. So people are
Yeah.
like, I can't get mad at you because
Yeah.
you're dealing with this the same way that I'm doing it. And you know, damn.
That's it. Yo,
That's
we in the hood,
crazy.
baby.
I don't think it picks up as clear as we're hearing it.
Probably not.
It won't. Nah. It'll
Probably
be
not,
like
but-
distant in the background, but people can still hear you clearly
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a wild time, man, because But that's the reason why I like apply for the program.
Yeah.
He fucking with us now.
I actually want to do that to my car.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
the fucking Honda Accord too.
You
That
know it had to
motherfucker,
be.
yo.
You know exactly who's driving that car.
But he back it up. He turned the music down. He lowered the volume.
Yeah,
he back it up.
He back it up. He lowered the volume.
Car's too old. He can't have the video screen.
Listen, you can't listen in reverse at the same time.
That's a 94 Accord too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That car is nothing but speakers and tires.
That's always sad.
Turn that shit low.
What's he look like? What's the dude look like? Is he young at least?
Like back.
Nah, I see you, buddy. He's like
That
maybe
driveway
a little younger
always
than
in
us.
the back.
Like he's in his 30s.
Okay.
He's feeling nostalgic.
Yeah, I want to do it to my car.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
It's
It's,
an
nice
investment.
outside.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yo, it was a wild time during COVID, because I remember when COVID happened and then like the writer strike happened and all that. And I remember the time period you was going to Cali.
Yep.
I remember I was telling Ray, I was like, "Damn, son, did he just go to Cali?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yo, he high out there."
My time hasn't been great. Like I graduated college in 2008 with a degree in education, and now everything, the economy crashed, and then New York City went on a hiring freeze with the DOE,
Yeah.
and so it's like, but I gotten through it, right? Like I'm still here. Like it's not like I'm, I'm not gonna die from this shit, right? So. For me, it's just like right now, I just gotta keep pushing through. Like even some stuff that I'm dealing with, like with the show, with like having a former co-host that's like
let's
basically
talk about
tried to take the idea and like I have Coca-Cola over here, but he trying to do Faygo, but then it's Coca-Cola or some shit.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
But hold on, before we get too fast, because we're still trying to figure out who this man is.
Oh, what's up?
Where you from?
Originally, I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm a suburb in the Midwest, like 20 minutes outside Detroit. That's where I was born and raised, and then I came to New York in 2004.
College, right?
What's
With the
Ann
St.
Arbor known
John's.
for? Because I feel like when you say that,
University of Michigan.
University of Michigan.
Yeah, all the teams, like that's where like Jeter went, and then it has the big house, the biggest football stadium in the States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So football was a big deal for you guys growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I went to a football game for the first time my senior year in high school. I did not give a fuck, but the traffic was always crazy on on football Sundays.
What, Sunday?
Like, and I always thought it was like exaggerative, and then like when I learned how big the football stadium was, I was like, oh, okay, like that makes sense.
There's a
Like,
reason.
Tens of thousands of people.
You guys had like leather jackets and lockers and stuff in high school?
In high school, yeah. It was like any kind of movie you've seen about the suburbs and
That's
shit.
what I wanted to
That was
ask.
Ann Arbor. That was,
Was it like Saved by the
like
Bell?
that. Yeah.
it wasn't that corny. I would say the closest shit I've seen to
What was the high school movie? Varsity Blues?
it wasn't
like
like
that?
because that's down south.
Okay.
That's down south. I would say probably the closest would be like an American Pie.
American Pie.
Pie.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that was actually filmed in Michigan too, and so
Oh,
I
a
would
lot
say
of
like
similarities.
yeah, I would say American Pie and like Scream 4
That's funny.
because they actually filmed that in Ann Arbor too. Like so that
Yeah,
it's-
when Ann Harbor's like, when you say the name, I've heard it.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it resonates. It's like, I've heard this place over and over in other like forms of media.
What you said? It's like a half hour outside Detroit?
not even.
Oh, yeah? Closer?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
20
okay.
minutes depending on where in Detroit you need to go.
That's like Westchester or some shit. That's like
yeah,
Westchester.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's a straight
Long
shot
Island.
on the highway and shit. But yeah, like that's where I grew up, and then
What made you come to New York?
I needed to get out of the suburbs, man. I was just like, because a lot of people were going to U of M. I didn't have the grades to get into U of M, and so, but I was like, I'm not staying in Michigan. Like I
want to get the fuck out.
yeah, I wanted to be a performer or do something. I knew I just like didn't want to be in Michigan, so I applied to schools in big cities, California, Chicago, and New York. And St. John's offered me the most money, basically a free ride, especially for my freshman year.
St. John's up here?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I was doing really. Yeah, I used to sublet an apartment not too far from here.
Oh.
Got mad pussy in that basement apartment.
He told me he was out here when he was in college.
What years?
That was
04,
my
05, right? You said?
You was out here with J. Cole?
I went to school with J. Cole.
Yeah.
I used to make fun of him.
Yeah.
I used to make fun of him at the Hawaiian meetings.
Yeah.
That shit was sad
You
because
used to go to those like they used to have the rap like talent shows,
The open
and shit.
mics and shit?
I never went to those.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know he was a rapper. He was just a student leader. Like he was like known for that. Like, and then you know what's crazy is because I heard that the story is that he gave the mixtape at what was it, L.A. Reid's son's birthday or some shit,
Something like
that. Because they came to campus to recruit for people to go to that party.
Oh,
Like they went to
shit.
Marillac Hall. Like MTV would go sometimes to be like, "Hey, we need y'all to fill in like
Oh,
X,
yeah?
Y, and Z event or some shit."
Oh,
Yeah,
So you went from Ann Arbor to Queens.
yeah.
What was that transition like?
It was fucking wild, man. Because I was a kid from like where like it was just black or white kids to being in Queens, the most diverse city in the world,
Where everything,
right?
yeah.
And I loved it though, like because for me, I was just like soaking up everything, and I was willing to take the hits. Like I would say some wild, ignorant shit. 'Cause I didn't know any better, right? But like I was always open to learning and like taking those hits because I was just I'm fascinated by people, and I was just so excited to be out of like such a black or white, environment, and actually learn shit and get to hook up with different types of chicks.
He wasn't just fucking
dogged?
white girls. It wasn't white girls the only option.
You know what's
St.
wild is
John's has a good mixture.
No, I'm talking
But
about
at St.
Ann Arbor.
John's-
Oh yeah.
But at St. John's, I was still clinging on to white girls. And then as soon as I got like a Spanish chick, I was just like, oh, okay.
You found,
and then
is that,
you did so much. So much
There's a
to
lot.
find just
Nunca me ha pegado los dientes.
Yo, where did you guys party
Love.
at coming out of St. John's? Like,
Oh
in that
my
era?
God. Yo, freshman year, there was a place called was it B&T's?
B&T.
That was off of Union Turnpike or Utopia Parkway. Was it Utopia Parkway? I think it was Utopia Parkway. And freshman year, people were getting shot. But it was like the only bar that was close to Queens campus where you could go if you could be underage. And they didn't give a fuck.
That's
But
why
it
they
was-
were getting shot.
Yo, it was the gulliest fucking place. And then there was a place called Traditions
Tradition.
that people used to go to. But most part, we just partied in the dorms.
Yeah, there was a lot of parties in the dorms. Yeah.
People got fucked up. And like, it's supposed to be a dry campus.
Is it?
Yeah,
Supposed to
St.
be.
John's.
Most New York.
Yeah,
They don't
But,
let that shit
yo,
rock like that.
Like we were getting fucked up. Like there's pictures of me like freshman year, especially like I dressed up for as Quail Man for a Halloween party.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me like drinking before we even went to the club or whatever, and I'm like just already hammered, looking like Quail Man. And there's a picture of me knocked out on the table, just it's covered in puke, and we just passed out. Yeah, it's somewhere like
That's your
deep
shit
in
too.
my
Halloween. You know. Well, I've known you to have fucking like dope ass
I love
Halloween
Halloween
parties,
parties,
yo.
man.
Your Halloween parties was the shit, yo.
I love Halloween parties because it's the one time where you can let your inner freak out and no one should judge you, but also you can get fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
And nobody don't
Halloween,
get it. It's Halloween.
It's
Shit
Halloween,
happens.
baby.
Yeah, I
So-
used to have those Halloween parties.
Yeah,
man.
we would watch
I missed
movies
that
for like 6 hours in his crib, yo. Fucking Halloween break night watching movies and
shit. Yo,
shit.
hammer, fucked up.
Fucked up.
Fucked up. Was it you that suggested that one movie we watched at like 3 a.m. that was like the deaf woman who was like being stalked in her house?
Oh my
Yo,
god.
he suggested like
That shit-
everyone's fucked
That
up.
shit was wild.
And he suggested this movie like, and it's about this woman that's deaf,
She's deaf.
and she's in the house, and this dude's stalking her.
She
And,
lives like in a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, and like
type
fucking
shit.
with her, and like he's gonna kill her, but like he just likes to fuck with her, and it's like heavy bass, and I had this big subwoofer at the time, and we're all just in the dark watching this movie. It was so fucking intense,
Wow.
but it was dope. Though
For
everyone was
Halloween.
like into it. Yeah, everyone was, and I
I just thought it was funny because when I
Yeah.
read that shit, I was like, this is fucked up because the whole time he's fucking with her, but she only like half hears
Yeah.
it. Like she not hears it. She don't know what's going on. He's like in the house moving shit and she don't know because she can't hear shit.
Yeah, it was wild, man. But yeah, I used to have a lot of Halloween parties. I had like supermodels come to this like rinky dink fucking apartment in Astoria.
Yeah.
Like you remember right? Like Shanita,
Which one?
like the chick who like dated Tyson Beckford and shit like that. Shanita Shaik. She,
My Facebook. I don't remember the name.
yeah, there's this beautiful. But that might have been like more like before I met
Before,
you.
yeah, before we
yeah,
hung
that
out.
might have been like, man, it was weird. Like
Yo,
people
this-
get fucked up.
Those Queens parties, yo, you never know who you run into at somebody's crib, yo. Just some random night, like, oh shit.
And I have a diverse, like I have a diverse group of friends. So it's in Astoria too. Like, so it was just like all walks of life, just partying. I had a 2-bedroom apartment, so the other room was just for partying and shit.
Yeah, it was.
Did you always want to be a writer, or and you also do comedy, right? You
Yeah,
don't just
yeah. I
write.
low key was a writer, but I never really told anybody. But I did comedy. I did a lot of comedy. Like I performed it, like sketch and stand up and stuff like that.
At St. John's, you did like talent shows and
I did
stuff?
in high school in
high
Ann
school?
Arbor. That's
Oh,
where
wow.
I started.
Nice.
Yeah, like, so that's
Okay.
why like I get nervous on stage, and I feel like if I kept to writing my stand up and I had more confidence in that, I would be in a different place in my career. But I'm
Really?
like, I'm gonna bet, yeah, because like I was always my grandfather always told me to have options, right? He was always like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak,
okay.
right? And so for me, it was like my grandmother was like, I want you to do the acting and the comedy. Like she's the one that introduced me to Eddie Murphy in like SNL.
But
she's
you
the one that
want, like
she would watch like Keenan and Kel and
give
stuff
you
like
some
that.
inspiration. Here,
Yeah.
look, check this out.
And she was the one that was like, go for it. But like, I was always torn between those two worlds. And so my whole thing was like, because of some shit that happened in high school where like I went from living in a house to overnight living in a motel because of financial issues that my mom had and stuff like that. And so like, I think that trauma made me say, I'm going to go with the safety, which is my education and getting my degrees and stuff like that. Versus if I dedicated myself, especially when I got to New York, to just comedy, because I was doing sketch comedy, like at College Humor stuff with like Jermaine Fowler and Jordan Carlos.
Because when I met you, you had the Comedy Outlier show.
Yeah.
You had all these guys that are like
Michael
top.
Che,
Schultz, Andrew
Pete
Schultz,
Davidson,
Pete
yeah.
Davidson. They were all at your shows.
Yeah.
And they were all big time now.
And it wasn't like I was like small or like I couldn't talk to them. Like I just talked to Michael Che like a year
That's
ago.
what I'm saying. So when
And,
you
like,
say like you didn't have the confidence, I just thought you prefer being like the behind the scenes.
I do. Like I like that a lot. And that's also why it's hard for me, like when I'm in front of stuff, to be more confident, be like, no, I deserve to be here. You know what I mean? And that's what always has given me pause at like pursuing a full-time career, is like doing stand-up and stuff. It's not my passion though. Like stand-up is just an opportunity for me to get more of my thoughts out that I actually would just put in the script and stuff.
Because your thoughts are funny.
Yeah.
Like, you say some
thank
funny
you.
shit.
Thank you, man. But I actually started in high school. This is what I was trying to say about public speaking stuff. I get nervous and shit.
Yeah.
But when you trying to do jokes in front of the big titty chick that you trying to fuck,
That's different.
that like won't give you the time of day, but right now you're in a packed out auditorium and you're killing.
And everybody's laughing at you.
Yeah, everyone's laughing
with
and
you.
she's laughing, and you're like, I'm finally doing this shit, and you like, I can't do a bomb. I can't
fuck this
one
up.
joke can be bad tonight. Like that's a different kind of pressure
You
that
hit a
like,
zone.
I don't think I'll ever feel again. But like it makes everything, like when I put it in perspective, like way less. you know?
Everything's easier because
Yeah,
you've
because-
dealt with that pressure.
Yo, I just remember that shit. I still remember the look on her face. It never happened. Like we never, because this is a girl that I was in love with, right? But it never happened, and it's fine. But I remember like that specific moment where I'm like, I could not fail right now. I feel like Jordan in the four, like I will not win.
Gotta get these laughs.
I'm murdered, man. But yeah, that was a lot of fun doing
shit.
sketching and stand up in high school, and then like being able to take that experience to doing the shit I do now. Like I produced my first independent show when I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
That's sick.
What was the show about?
It was a sketch comedy show. So I was part of a sketch comedy group in my high school. They had a huge funding, right? But then our adult supervisor was a local comedian, and the first two shows of my junior year were fucking biggest shows that school had ever seen, and we became the most popular kids overnight, right, at school. And then after the show, the sixth show, our like adult supervisor was like, "Hey, I'm gonna write the next show."
Why?
Exactly, like because it was like SNL. We wrote our sketches, we
Right.
did our stand up.
The shit works.
Yo, he
You know
said
what I mean?
no stand up. I'm gonna write everything because he wanted to do like some weird commentary on reality TV at the time, and I guess he liked the exposure that the
That's why
show
you
was
was in
getting.
hie school? So this is like late 90s,
It's
early
something
2000s.
This is
using
early
his power.
2000s.
Yeah, what
So
a dickhead. Yeah.
It was wild, and then like it was terrible. Like we all
It was
like,
terrible?
Various members of us we quit throughout the making of that show
Like, nah,
because
we
it
not
was so
fucking with this
bad.
shit.
And then we all came together to not let anyone hang and like bomb.
Fuck out of here, yo.
And then we did the show, and there's nothing more painful than going through like 70 minutes of like terrible sketch comedy.
Oh my God.
When you know it's
and
bad.
you're bombing. Like
Everybody's
the crowd,
just staring at
the
you.
crowd wasn't into it. We weren't into it.
Oh.
Yo, it was like the worst feeling in the
So
world.
what, did you say anything to the professor afterwards, or who was? You said it was a teacher that
I
made
quit.
you do it? You quit? Oh,
I quit the group, like, and that's why we started doing our like me, the co-president, he quit as well. Like the core members, we all quit after that. And then I was just
Do
like,
your own
whoa.
shit.
I was like, whoa, we don't have to not do
You
comedy.
can keep doing this.
I was like, I go to this alternate school but they have a stage that we could probably rent, and so I just
That's a
talked
dope
to the
fucking
dudes and
attitude,
we
yo.
fundraised and we like did our own show. I'm like, because at the time, like I just told you about like I went from a house to a motel, and I was going through like I didn't know what it was, but I was going through like crazy depression. I was lashing out, and comedy legit saved my life. Like seeing my boy Sean, who you met at the wedding, he's like light skin like you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I saw him at the sketch comedy group performance before I joined. It was like my sophomore year. and seeing him perform, I was like, I gotta perform with this dude, and like I gotta get in this world, this comedy world.
It was like your first inspiration type.
Yeah, that's what actually got me into writing comedy. Yeah, for sure. It was
That's
wild,
dope.
like seeing that, you know. And Sean's still a funny motherfucker. I see him every time I go back to Michigan. Every time I go back to Michigan, he's got a whole spread like of just joints
Doing shows
and different
and-
strains. No, not shows. no, he doesn't perform
He got
anymore.
that shit lined up.
Yo, he's ready. He's like, because we used to get high all the time and like that's what we would do. It was like, because you know, at SNL they get fucked up and they write these sketches. It was really odd how we used to do that. Yo, you drive around, smoke joints, listen to PD Pablo, and be like, yo, what if we did a sketch on this shit? And just like deal with that shit. One time I hit a Dairy Queen because I was so high. I bumped into a Dairy Queen. Yo, we got so high.
That's a Midwest shit.
Yo, it really is. Like, we
the
got so
side of
high,
the
and I had a
tracks.
manual car. At this point, I had a
Oh,
manual
shit.
Toyota, so it's not automatic. Like you go hard when you go in reverse.
Right.
I was just so fucking blazed, and then I just backed out too hard, and I hit the building. And then, and my friend Sean said that I went from being the most high nigga he ever seen to I sobered up real quick, and I was like, I'm gonna get us out of this. And then I sped out the parking lot. By the time I got to the stop sign, he was like, "You went back to being high as fuck." But I was like, for a second, I was like, I gotta get us
Got out of there. You just gotta get out the scene.
He was like, "You hit
Flee
a
the
building."
scene. We all fuck it. Ain't no cameras back then.
Yeah.
So when was your first like big writing gig or comedic gig in New York? What was the first thing that made you
shit.
be like, oh shit, I'm doing something?
That's a dope question. I would say it was I used to do these bringer shows. And for some reason, like this guy Marco who runs Eastville Comedy Club, like he liked, I guess maybe my energy or like just people I brought, and he was like, "Hey man, you want to do your own show here?" And I was like,
shit.
what does that mean?" It's like you book the comedians, like you do the promo, I have the venue, so I get the bar, and then you do whatever you want for tickets. And I was like, okay. And so I started. That's
how
what
you started? Yeah.
That basically was started my consistent comedy career in New York
Oh wow.
by doing like
shit.
putting
How
together
long
my
ago was
own
that?
stand-up show.
That was
And
at
then-
that bar, right? What you said?
no, it's Eastville Comedy Club. So this is where New York
okay.
Comedy Club is now in the East
Oh,
Village.
the East Village. Yeah.
And so that's where I like, because I was doing bringers at other clubs, but they weren't like talking to me like that.
Yeah.
This is the first guy I was like, I want you to do your own show.
do
here.
the show.
Is this like right after college or just like
This is in college.
This is in college.
This is in college.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
At that point, after freshman year, I lived here on the Queens campus. Sophomore year, because I learned that they had a Manhattan campus that's downtown Manhattan. I'm like, I could fucking live.
you could
in-
just transfer over there?
yeah, because
Oh,
they
shit.
had a shuttle too that would take you from Manhattan to Queens. So I'm like,
Oh.
so I could just, because I'm already paying tuition and room and board. I'm like, so I could live in Manhattan. And so I just transferred. And so I was living
Oh,
downtown Manhattan.
shit.
They would take us back and forth to Queens.
Wow.
And then
That's
so I was just
fire.
doing comedy and like other like there's nothing I would ever regret about the decisions I've made in my life, because when I say stuff like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that was fucking dope.
No,
Yeah, it is dope.
I'm thinking about that. Damn, 21, 22, going to school, doing comedy
Lower
in
Manhattan,
Lower East Side. Like, yeah, Lower Manhattan.
Lower Manhattan, I got
guy.
I got my own room.
Forget
in
this
the
guy.
dorms.
This guy hates college. Fuck this guy. He makes fun of my college all the time.
Oh, I think it's the biggest scam in the world.
Like,
bro.
yeah, forget this guy.
Well, listen,
At the time,
Was
I
that-
don't wanna hear that. If you living like that, you're doing it pretty good.
Well, the education can be debated, because there was some course I definitely did not need to.
I've been
fucking
trying to
take.
tell him college is fun.
yeah,
But
you got
bro,
it.
I
You
had,
got it.
Yo, I
I
had
made
a
some
single-
good decisions without college.
I was living in Lower Manhattan, and I was doing all this shit.
Yeah.
That's
Because
amazing.
you didn't have to bring home girls that just went to your school. Too.
No. You can pick
So-
up girls at the show.
I'm just.
And you got your own crib?
Especially in Lower
Tati's
Manhattan.
like, you were a man hoe. I'm like, can you blame me?
Lower Manhattan.
Product of my environment.
Right? So you start your hustling comedy where?
shit.
Is that in Lower Manhattan? Is that in the city?
I was
you
all
doing
over
that?
the city at that point, like, because after I started doing the Eastville shows, then Al Martin, rest in power, he was the owner of Broadway Comedy Club and New York Comedy Club. He emailed me out of nowhere. It was like, hey, you want to do some shows here? And then at that time, I just also happened to be starting a sketch comedy group with my co-host, Meeting Popcorn, Justin Brown, and comedy writer Dylan Stevenson. Shout out to Dylan. And so we were able to use Broadway Comedy Club to do our sketch comedy shows.
Wow.
Kind of
So
like
we-
what you were doing in high school. You just
Yeah,
brought it
so
over
we're
to New
doing
York.
sketch comedy though, like in like comedy clubs, and so
Right.
that was a different thing. And so that took on its own life and shit like that. So I was just all over the place while I was in grad, at that point I was in grad school. But I was living on a dorm still. I hadn't moved out yet to my own place. But yeah, I was just hustling, man.
Are you majoring in the arts too in school or
no? I majored in education.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was the safety. That was the safety.
That
was like you better get a good job.
That was the duel. That was the balance he was doing.
Yeah, that was the
Wilding
safety.
out, running the streets, doing the comedy shit, but making
Gotta have
sure.
options.
Yeah.
Yo, it was like grad school was wild too because I learned like like you have imposter syndrome about how smart you are. You're like, oh, I can't absorb this thing or I don't know this thing. And then once I kind of like hacked how my brain works and how I can study and shit,
Right.
I was like, oh, I can do really well in school and not really put as much effort as I was putting in. And so what I was doing was I was partying a lot. I was doing a lot of shows and networking and fucking around. And then I would go to class, but I didn't have to like drain myself in class as much as I used to have to push myself. And
Once
the reason
you figured out how to retain the information.
But the reason why I bring that up is because I kept adding shit to like my plate, right? Like I remember one time this dude I worked with at Bubba Gum Shrimp Company was like, "Hey, I'm starting a real estate company. You want to get your real estate license?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, you just take classes on the weekend." So I'm just like, "Sure," like whatever. So I'm just taking I'm going to these real estate classes on the weekend, hung over
And you doing that shit too. Like, fuck it.
I don't even know like what they're talking about with acres and shit. And then I'm just sitting with this book. I'm like, oh man, what the fuck am I doing here? And then I would go like do a comedy event or work at Radio Shack. And I'm just like, this is my life. And so yeah, I had a real estate license for like a few years.
Wow. So houses?
Shit.
I was doing Manhattan rentals, but I could have sold houses.
Okay.
That's funny.
It was so stupid.
That's funny.
I only rented out
That's
one
funny that you
apartment.
never pursued that.
Yo,
you never said, "Oh, I can make money doing
because
this."
it felt dirty, man. I rented out one apartment. My whole career, I had about 6 months in the industry at this brokerage before I was like, this ain't for me. And they were like, this ain't for you. Because I had too much going on. It was for $7,000. And as the realtor, I got $7,000.
Oh my god!
Like I would get paid a month's rent just to show somebody an apartment.
Holy shit!
Like if I had a list, especially in Manhattan apartment and the access I had, this woman, I showed her, I had three apartments, and they were all in the same avenue. So it was like, okay, we went to the first apartment. All right, she didn't like that one. Went down the street. Like 15 minutes later, she's like, this is the one I want. That was my job to get $7,000.
Wow,
That was good.
And so I had also been like fucking around until that point.
Better than me, yo. I would have said, "This is it for me."
Yo, it was wild, man. Because it just felt wrong. You know what I mean? Because also like it also showed you like I don't want to say privilege, but how class works and stuff like that. Because this woman had like infinite funds, right?
Of course.
But then like the deals I had before had fallen through because it was like young 20-somethings that maybe they needed a
Bad
guarantor,
credit score,
bad credit,
shit.
or something like that. And it's just like, and then they wouldn't take my brokerage wouldn't take Section 8 housing. So that cut out certain, people.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, well, this is like also.
That's true. Yeah, when you see it from that side, it gets
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's just, and you see the people that are making all the money. You're like, you're the one that fucking is making all this
fucked up.
money.
Nasty.
Yeah.
You got,
And there's no need for it to be, especially at the rental level, there's no need for people to be the assholes that they were.
What do you mean?
They were, because they were acting like it was $1 million listing and shit. I'm like, we're renting out like apartments that are like a few $1,000. You're talking about shit that's like almost tens of millions of dollars. Like that's not the same. Like that's a different ball game of how much of an asshole you have to be to make those deals work. We're renting out a 1-bedroom.
Like
what are we doing?
rentals. You gotta relax.
They thought they were kingpins and shit.
So are you writing throughout this whole time as you're doing on
Yeah,
comedy?
yeah, I'm writing scripts. I'm just not telling nobody.
Okay, so in the
Like
time
movie
period, like
scripts?
Yeah, I'm
TV
writing
scripts?
features
Yeah.
like just on the side.
in the past, like during that time period when you're doing the shows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I would write scripts on like my typewriter. I had a typewriter before we got the computer.
Old
'cause-
school.
Yeah, yeah, I used to write stories and
right.
shit like that because I watched Scream in 1997, and I like changed my whole life because I was like, yo, this story is dope. Like I'm not really into horror, but like I love the murder mystery aspect. I just love how like the story unfolded, and that's when I would go to Borders every weekend with my mom, Borders bookstore, and I learned that they would print out scripts for movies. And Scream, I bought Scream. I studied that
shit.
script format. And I was like, this is dope. And so I started writing scripts kind of based on the structure I
The
saw
formula,
on that.
yeah.
And
Oh,
I
shit.
was just low key writing scripts for like a long time.
That's fucking cool, yo.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's ill how your brain works. Cause I see dope shit and I'm just like, that's so amazing. I could never do anything like that.
No, man, I'm always inspired by that shit. But I, like, you know, like going to the imposter syndrome, like I don't want like people to know about this, like because I don't want to fail. Like Tati never read the script I submitted for the program.
Oh shit.
I just submitted that shit because during the pandemic, my boy Tommy was like, hey, like if you're, because he was the only one I was telling him like writing this script or whatever. He was like, yo, like just like apply to some writers programs. You never know what could happen. Like the studios have writers programs. I'm like, oh shit, for real? So I looked it up, and Universal, like Jurassic Park's my favorite movie of all time, right? And so I'm like, oh, that'd be dope to like write at Universal, whatever. So I applied, and then you know, a few months later.
Wow. But at this point, you've been writing at least 10 years now because we're old. So the time period that we're talking about is a span of like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Right? So in that time period, though, would you say, were there any other like, is this like the first time your writing is getting shine, or was it like things in the past that you've done that have like given you the?
That was the first time like someone who didn't know me, my writing got
during
shine,
the pandemic.
whatever.
So the Universal thing is the first play we're writing.
Yeah, I mean that's the first acknowledgement of me as a screenwriter for sure.
Okay.
Like before that, I'd written some sketches like for my Grits sketch comedy group, but it was kind of a collective effort, and it wasn't really like I never wrote a sketch that was like, oh shit, like that's huge, right? I don't know what my throat's getting all itchy. Sorry.
That's why we do the warm up. See, you was looking at me crazy when I was doing it.
But I was just like, why does this nigga keep gargling his throat at me? But yeah, like it wasn't until the Universal program, because I wrote that script that I submitted, Marcus and Dante's Crazy as Fuck playlist, like after I had my wife and I had to take in her godkids for about 3 months, like abruptly, like it was like the first year of our marriage, we had to take them in. And I remember like watching a lot of stuff with them, like watching a lot of movies, and I was like, oh, it'd be dope to like for them to have like a cool, like that's not a kiddie movie, but like a young adult movie that would star people that look like them in like a crazy situation you wouldn't see kids that look like them in.
Right.
And so it was like my concept was like a enemy of the state means the Boondocks. So it's about these two twin brothers that live in Harlem, and basically this white girl, one of them's on like a newspaper boy run or whatever, and this white woman walks by his bag and drops an iPod in it, and then she walks down the street. He's trying to like run, like catch up to her to be like, hey, you dropped this in my bag. She gets hit by a car, and then these mysterious dudes in suits like grab her body, throw her in a car, and drive off. And so then it turns out that she had this like on the iPod, it's all these government secrets and shit. And so basically you find this like secret agency is trying to fuck with this kid because he has this one device that he doesn't even know he has.
Right.
And then like he has his twin brother. And so it's about like, you know, shit gets crazy with them because they get confused for each other and shit. And the other one's like the Riley character, right? And they're dynamic. So he's like very abrasive, like, the fuck you mean? Like, these dudes the suit show up. He's like, nigga, what you want? You Brooks motherfucker. They're like, what? They're like, you have the device. He's like, what the fuck you talking about?
That's funny.
So that was the idea that I submitted to the program, and that's what got me in.
Wow, nice.
That would make a good movie, though.
That sounds like
that sounds like
I want to revisit it because actually, like, I was reading it not too long ago, just like to kind of go through the shit, like thinking about my journey, and everything like that. I was like, yo, this is like a dope ass story, man.
It's a solid.
Yeah, but I feel like
solid concept.
I feel like you jumped a lot here because we went from college to Universal. So what's happening?
But he got
in
a
between?
hard out too, and we gotta get his show promoted.
Well, you was manager.
I can stick around
Let
for
the
a little
man
bit.
talk. The fuck?
I'm just making
I still
sure.
got some time.
Yeah, he
I want to make sure
managed his own time.
He can promote. I just want to
You
make
know
sure
what I
he
mean?
promotes his shit.
Right. Whose side are you on here? You with the show, my nigga. What are you doing? The fuck?
Yeah, man. I got some time, but what was I doing between that? Well, I was in grad school, and then I got into like, I got into like ed tech stuff, which is wild that like took me a minute to recall that because that's been my life until I started writing full time.
Yeah.
So it's wild that I kind of blacked out on like 10 years. Because like that was my full time shit, was like running teams of teachers like in the ed tech space and training them. Like,
Yeah, you was in the education space for a minute.
You didn't do comedy or write during that time period?
Yeah, I would produce a monthly comedy show with comedian Mike Brown called Comedy Outliers. Did that like you know,
For the last 10
for
years.
like 8 years or something like that.
Is that with the Drunken Black History? Is that a part of that?
No, that came in like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a while before that came about. But then I started doing Medium Popcorn, the movie review podcast. And
Shout out to Medium
Best
Popcorn.
theme song for the
Thank
podcast
you.
I've ever heard in my life. You could pull that up on YouTube if you want.
Thank you. We started
play
doing that. Woo! In 2000. Oh shit!
That's his shit,
You know what I
Medium
just
Popcorn.
realized? The reason why I'm like going like this, because I'm high as fuck right now.
Oh, you forgot you had that thing?
I forgot I'm high. I'm like, man, like, I'm
damn,
really.
I'm ranting and raving. I'm doing a good job. I'm a fucking machine.
Listen, you trying to send him home.
Go.
You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm trying
Go
to
sit
fucking
the
make
fuck
it
up.
what he said. I'm trying to.
I
yo,
fucking
I'm not
blinked
trying
out
to
on
fuck it
10
up.
years of my life.
I keep
I'm like,
here for 8 hours. I don't give a fuck.
man.
I'm not in a
Trying to
rush.
get all this
holy
gold.
shit! I completely forgot.
But Medium Popcorn is lit. You ran over that. Medium Popcorn, you guys
Yeah,
are,
man. We're Rotten Tomatoes accredited, which is wild.
Yeah, that's ill.
We update our own Rotten Tomatoes descriptions now. Before
Yeah.
we used to have a dude that had to transcribe our podcast and summarize it for the review and the posting.
That's funny.
And he had to listen to some crazy shit.
You
Like-
say some wild shit on the Medium Popcorn.
Like, we didn't actively seek out to be Rotten Tomatoes critics. Like, they emailed us and like,
Right.
hey, we think we're trying to diversify our critic pool. Think you guys would be a good fit.
Shout
So
out
we're
to
like,
Ego.
yeah, we're like, okay.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I remember one time the guy from Rotten Tomatoes emailed me, like quoting an episode. He was like, it was like, pick up your drawers and get your balls or something like that. And he quoted it. And then he said, sheesh. I was like, oh shit. But like, we're still on the platform, right? And so we've been doing that me and Justin been doing that for a long time.
Long time.
But what's wild is like certain movies now, like they piss off people if we like are really mean about them and shit. Mostly they get mad at Justin. So we have kind of like death threats in the
Really?
emails. Yeah. What? It started with
What does that
Paddington
sound
2.
like?
For
A lot.
Paddington 2?
It's a lot of like, I'm gonna fuck you and fucking kill you and fuck your corpse and shit like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A lot of wild stuff. All because of a bear.
A bear.
Yeah, Paddington
The
2.
Paddington Bear. The movie.
Yeah.
Paddington 2.
Yeah, that's so Paddington 2 was like at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was like notorious for this shit. And then
Yeah, I shitted on that movie.
I loved it. I loved the movie. One, because I was like, I don't want this smoke, so I love it already. But I genuinely did enjoy it, right? But then Justin was just in a bad mood. I could be
this
very
movie.
fair. He was not in the greatest mood, and he just doesn't like having to watch kid shit.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, this is small. Like he purposely was like, this ain't gonna get to the positive. He's like, no, I'm gonna give this a tomato. And so then we posted it. And then I think I disconnected the YouTube comments.
It was that bad. Jesus.
There's only 2 reviews I've ever had to take down because of the Rotten Tomatoes response. And that's it's that movie and it's Elvis.
What happened with Elvis?
Really? The Elvis movie? they
Because
took that?
Elvis, before that Priscilla movie came out, Justin was like calling out. He's like, they
Yeah,
don't talk
calling him
about
a pedophile.
They don't talk.
He's
They don't
stealing the music.
Exactly. They don't talk,
Yeah, I heard
I mean,
those episodes.
they did some of the appropriation, but the main thing was he was like, they're not talking about how he groomed this chick.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how
She was really
like,
young.
He was a
She was like 14, 15.
yeah, he was like
yeah.
kind of a piece of shit for that.
Yeah.
Definitely
And
a piece of shit. for
So
that.
people were just like adamantly like
Yeah, it wasn't part of the movie.
defending him and like
Yeah.
saying like, you know, we were pieces of shit and
Oh, they were calling you guys pieces
They
of
were
shit?
calling
yeah.
you the assholes for pointing it out.
they hated it.
Oh.
They were like, they
Oh.
don't do research, blah blah blah. Like they were going in on us.
They
Wow.
was triggered.
Oh,
They're telling
yeah.
on themselves.
Yeah,
I really look at
man.
them comments like, what's up, buddy? But Medium Popcorn is lit, man. Like when he put me onto it, and then the Rotten Tomato thing, because like you guys been working that podcast for a minute, so it's always good to see people
Can we play the theme song?
Yeah, yeah, we can play it.
What's the theme song? You got
It's not
it?
up
You
there?
gonna pull it
Just
up?
pull up one episode. You just pull up
Just
episode.
play the first
Yeah.
like 10 seconds.
After that.
might
Yeah,
be.
there you go.
Oh, let this rock. It's so fire that they let you rock. You haven't been approached, no
Not
cease
yet.
and desist, no
I
nothing.
hope this don't jinx it.
No.
We are two niggas spoiling movies.
That's me.
It's Easy
got a
Rider.
vibe.
It's Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. It sounded familiar.
You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. If you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
Shout out to Medium Popcorn.
So that's fire that y'all did that.
Yeah.
You feel like Medium Popcorn like helped you with opportunities going forward, the exposure?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because like the Rotten Tomatoes thing, like opened up a whole new world of access.
Right.
So like, not only were we able to now get into like film festivals, which allows us to like
Network.
network and get to see shit early and stuff like that. But then what ended up happening was with that access came the ability for me to apply for AFCA, the African American Film Critics Association. And then I got to that right during the pandemic. And this is before they were always doing in-person interviews with talent. Pandemic happened. I got into this critics group. They have to now do everything remote.
Right.
So then the first, and I didn't even know that they did talent interviews. I just was like, oh, this is dope to be part of a group of all black critics that love shit that I love, right? And then I got an email. It was like, hey, do you want to interview Jamie Foxx about this new movie?
Oh my God.
No, lies. That came later. Samuel Jackson, his wife, about their docuseries.
Your first
That was the first interview.
Oh
you go on the
my
Medium Popcorn page,
God.
that's like the first celebrity interview because
Oh, yo, what?
That's fire.
Yo,
yo.
and so like that was like I feel bad. Like obviously the pandemic was terrible, and I hate the pandemic.
you did
I,
all-
I have a fucked
yeah,
up time.
yeah.
But the pandemic allowed for me to be able to focus
So
on
Medium
certain things.
Popcorn, yeah.
and
yo,
do-
I remember
and
these
do some
interviews,
things,
the
man.
Zoom
It changed
interviews.
the whole, like at least for me, it changed the whole trajectory of like access for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of that, I get to go to screenings with Coleman Domingo, and I get to meet D Woods from Danny DeCane.
You got access to all those the festivals and,
And that's
everything.
outside
those
of
film
the Universal
festivals.
thing.
Yeah.
That's just something
That's
I got to
prior.
capitalize
Yeah.
on while I was out of LA. Like
That was
I
prior the
Yeah.
Universal.
I see Jamie Foxx here.
Yeah. Yeah, because now you press.
Yeah.
Now you're pressed. Now you get to you're legit a critic.
Yo, rest
Yeah.
in peace.
Even though I said some wild
Michael
shit.
Che.
Yo,
Mike-
that was a
yeah,
crazy.
Rest in peace.
That interview doesn't get enough attention
You gotta post that one more.
because
I might want to take a shot at doing the same thing with watching performances from people like Bokeem Woodbine, Lorenz Tate. Jesus, I can go on and on. Obviously Denzel Washington was a huge inspiration to me, but it was really, really a lot of stuff I saw early on in Bokeem Woodbine and Lorenz Tate that with the light bulb went off in my head.
Yes. So with Montrose, you've been able to do a little bit of action, even some comedic beats, but mostly it's some pretty heavy dramatic moments.
I hate hearing myself.
It's taking me a while to get used to it. Yeah.
I hate hearing myself.
I just started like being all right with it.
Was particularly difficult for me. There is, I guess, as you might know now, there's a lot of black magic and.
So during this, like he was stuck in his like everyone's stuck in their homes.
It's COVID. It's full COVID.
So everyone's like audio is like kind of like off or whatever. But then the thing with this one was it was like the whole cast, right? So I got to interview Jonathan Majors for this too and stuff like that. But we got stuck in a room with him.
With Jonathan Majors.
No, with Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams.
Got you.
And so that's when I got to ask him about he was supposed to play the villain in the Han Solo movie.
Ah, okay.
Oh shit.
And they changed it like he had to drop out because of scheduling issues, right? And I was like, for the first, like no one ever said what his villain was. So I was like, yo, what was gonna be your villain in that movie?
Yeah.
And he was like, I was gonna be like this gangster alien and shit. And like he gave like these dope details. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh, that nobody ever got.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ill.
Oh,
Yeah, because
make sure you guys check it out.
You're a big Star Wars fanatic too. You see, I didn't
was,
even
man.
know about
I
that
was.
behind the scenes.
You was? You not
Oh,
anymore?
no more? Uh-oh.
What happened?
What
Gave it
happened
up?
was Rise of Skywalker, bro. You came to me to that. You saw my face.
I was so mad. I felt bad for you.
You saw
I was mad because it was like I'm not the big fanatic that you are, but that you were.
Yeah.
So I saw the disappointment.
That's how much people know I like
problematic.
movies.
I was bad is a little harsh. You
No,
know?
it was bad. Like, yo, that's how much people know I love this shit. Because Rise of Skywalker and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom were the first time where I had friends that were like, "Yo, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like they were like, "We know how much you love this shit, and we know that this is like terrible."
Why do you feel like it was bad?
Which one?
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, because one, they had John Boyega's Finn character just running around after this white girl trying to tell her something that he never actually tells her, which is apparently going to say, "I'm force sensitive," which is completely insane. They made Kylo Ren fucking, like, they gave him the laziest redemption arc versus just making him go full bad. That's all I wanted to see. I'm like, make him the head
Make him
dude.
worse than Darth Vader.
Yeah,
You got
I'm
the
like,
opportunity to create a new supervillain forever.
We don't think that would have been like repetitive from the first series.
They made it repetitive with the redemption arc.
Yeah, with Emperor Palpatine and shit. That was like, you literally went back to that same thing.
It was, yeah, so if he would have became Darth Vader, then it would have just
No, he would have surpassed.
It would have been like Darth Vader
killed,
if he became the Emperor. And that's something we hadn't seen before.
He kills Han Solo, bro. You evil to me. That's it. Once you kill your father, fuck you, yo.
It was. I like the fact that they took the middle of the road approach, right? Because it wasn't so clear cut. He became like an anti-villain towards the end. You know what I mean? Where it wasn't
but they didn't explore that. That's the thing is like, I like that. That was the story arc for 2 for what was it? The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Right? And that's actually where me and Todd were like, that's why it's good to get an actor like Adam Driver to do this shit, because Kylo Ren
was excellent.
Remember he looked at that throne after they killed Snoke, right?
Yeah.
And then Rey's like, "Hey, let's go."
Yeah.
And he's like, "We should do this shit together. Like,
got
there's
it
no
in him.
good, there's no bad. It's just we can do this shit because we know that, right?" And then she's like, "No." And then I wanted him to go full like, okay, then I'm fucking destroy everything.
It's my shit.
And like that would have been such a more compelling part 3,
Especially
and given like
he was never really, because that was always an issue even with Palpatine. Palpatine felt like he was never really on the dark side, right?
What are you talking about?
Like
Palpatine killed Mace Windu, bro.
Not Palpatine. His boss.
Oh,
the
Vader?
Original, no. Kylo Ren, right? Is that the dude that initially in the first movie where he was who was the guy? What was the name of the guy that he was?
You're talking about Snoke?
Snoke, right?
Okay.
It was a struggle because Snoke felt like he wasn't taking the extra mile to show his allegiance to like the dark side, right? It was like, oh, you're like halfway in, halfway out type shit, right? Because of the sister.
Yeah.
The sister was out there and like, yo, your sister's a weakness. You need to kill her. And he's just like,
Sister.
It was kind of like, in my mind, I thought it was his sister, but it ended up being his sister. But in the first, when I watched that first, Ray,
Whatever,
right?
yeah.
When it first came out, I thought it was gonna be a sister.
Got it. Yeah,
you feel me? And
they're like cousins or something.
It should have been,
right?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be.
It would have been more like, it would have been more predictable because of the Star Wars books that they had Han Solo and Leia having twins.
Had twins,
Yeah.
right?
But like, yeah, do that. Like, what's wrong with that? Because that would have made way more sense than whatever the fuck they did.
But he was never really like fully like, oh, I'm gonna be part of the dark. He always had like the half.
But that's what I want to see, though. Like, don't you want to see that? Don't you want to see Luke Skywalker go full
He
bad?
tried to kill Luke. You evil, bro. They should have just kept leaning into that.
Like,
be
that's
worse
like-
than Vader. They had an opportunity to make somebody bigger than Vader.
And that's what would have made The Last Jedi even more powerful, right? Because you have this withdrawn Luke, right?
Yeah.
Who's like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
He can't-
And if he's supposed to be the purest of us, then it's like, yeah, then you would get Kylo Ren going
Be the
full-
opposite.
But Luke
Be the full
wasn't.
opposite.
Luke, and I think when we see in those last few minutes, we seen the fallacy of Luke, right? Because Kyle wanted to kill Luke because he felt like he was abandoned. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, right? But when he was a kid, they were separated some shit. So he had some like daddy issues where
They
it was
all
like,
do.
right?
Yeah.
So when he wanted to kill Luke, I didn't necessarily feel like, oh, Luke shouldn't die. Like, yo, yeah, you mad at that niggas. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't hold you down. Luke was on here on some like Last Jedi. I want to build out the Jedi temple type shit and missed out on fatherly duties.
He's not redeemable by that.
That's
point.
real life. People,
But for me,
people
that's
do shit, and
That's so,
you get affected.
This is mad funny.
You know what I mean? And he goes out and do some wild shit. I didn't like the whole. In the original movies from the 70s and 80s, it was very clear cut who was the bad guy, who was the good guy. Right? I like the gray. Right? I like the fact that you could.
Me too.
Like, I could be mad at you because you wasn't a good father and want to kill your ass, but still not want to be this monster that you guys want me to be.
But by the conclusion of this story, though, you need to pick a side. Like that for me. That
If they
I think
wrapping
that's
it
where,
up, yeah.
That's where I got frustrated. But to Luke's thing, I never got the hate of Luke's portrayal in The Last Jedi, just because I'm like, if you think about it, this nigga didn't know anything about the Force until literally his aunt and uncle were like barbecued, and this nigga in the cloak was
He's
like,
sick of this
"You're
shit,
like
yeah.
you're Darth Vader's
I'm your
son
dad.
or whatever."
Yeah,
right?
I'm your dad.
Like, I'm your dad.
I'm like,
Obi-Wan.
No, Darth Vader.
Darth
Oh,
Vader.
I thought you meant Darth Vader. My
I mean,
bad,
like
my bad.
Obi-Wan came
Obi-Wan
out
shows
looking
up.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
your daddy. That would have been wild.
I know your father, right? What he said, some bullshit.
Yeah, I knew your father.
I knew your father.
I always thought Luke was like lackluster for me, yo. Like, fuck that guy. The storyline was written around
It
him.
wasn't his choice to be plugged into the story.
It wasn't. But to your point, though, he had a lot put in front of him, and it was always about him and his ego. And
Hell
what
yeah,
he
it's
had.
about me.
Yeah.
Niggas trying to kill me.
But you
I
really
don't
think
even
about
know.
like who he was to that story. Like if you as being the
But-
person that's supposed to lead the Jedi into this thing, when he come into the
You would have had ego.
he had ego. You see, he was too much.
But like, do you blame that? Like, for instance, right? Harry Potter, right? I bet you he would have a huge ego because even if he doesn't want it to be about him, it's always
It's
about
about him.
Like, eventually you just like, I gotta just embrace this shit.
yeah, I can see that.
So it's
with
like-
the Harry Potter. Yeah, I
yeah.
can see that. You know what I mean? But
By the 5th year, if I were Harry Potter, I'd be like just pulling out my dick and being like, "Who wants some?"
On the
I
Quidditch,
gotta- yo,
on the
I gotta
Quidditch
left that
fucking
fucking-
game.
He gets put in like
He's
wizard
riding his-
pedophile jail. They're like,
you gotta
can't
be a registered
exposing
sex
yourself.
offender at Hogwarts.
right?
It comes out of imaginary ink and invisible ink and
They
shit.
got him on the wanted poster. He's like fucking flipping you off and
float-
shit. Like, get the
A
fuck.
floating
Y'all
quill
can't catch me.
is writing his crimes. Oh my god!
The
I'm
Harry
fucking-
Potter shit was hitting. I was mad with the way they wrapped that up too. The last couple movies was just like,
How you mad at that?
Why?
It's
did
brilliant.
They did a good job considering it was a
They,
fucking
they made Voldemort like an
million
all-time
pages.
villain.
Yeah.
He's top 5
Voldemort.
top 5
because
villains.
of the Horcruxes. He's top 5, bro.
Oh, let's do top 5 movie villains right now. Who's your top 5?
Oh, well, see, that's different. Because in the movies, he's fine.
you
but
can't
like,
say
because,
like the T-Rex or Jurassic
But
Park.
hold on, with Voldemort, right? 'Cause
technically, he's a good guy sometimes.
I haven't seen the
Sometimes.
Harry Potter shit in a long time. Voldemort, he had like a tough childhood or something like that.
He
and
was all fucked up because he was like old school, like half. So, oh no, his shit was wild. So his mom was a witch, and she basically like raped this guy. So she fell in love with a village dude, and she like essentially used her magic to make him like fuck her.
Oh my god.
And she had Voldemort, and then Voldemort like something happened with her. She died, and I think Voldemort went to his birth like his actual father. And then his father like was like, "Fuck,
Like,
no,
I'm
I'm not
not-
wanting nothing
yeah.
to do with it," and he killed them. And that was the start of his Horcruxes.
he had a rough life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like
he had
his,
a rough
I think
life.
his family was like the first like victim,
Comes to this
his first
fucking
victims.
Hogwarts, gets rejected. You know what I'm saying? They treat him like shit.
Well, he didn't get rejected.
He didn't get rejected? Wasn't it like when he was?
No one got rejected.
He was
I
like
mean, he went to the school,
he
but
was one
wasn't
of
like
the
he was
top.
like a
No,
Slytherin.
he was like a peer.
He was a
And didn't they
Slytherin.
kick him out?
He was one of the top.
No,
yeah, 'cause
no,
he was
that's
trying
the
to
thing.
kill people and
That's
shit.
the thing.
Yo,
He did it. He never got kicked out.
he was trying to revolt
you never
against
got
the
kicked out?
school.
They
or some
kept him
shit.
around. I think they purposely kept him around because he was doing some foul shit and they knew it. But I think they kept him around to be able to monitor him.
because they knew how powerful he was.
Well, yeah, and they knew he was
Yeah.
like really fucking just dark. And
So
they're
what made him finally turn against him then?
He tried to rebel or some shit, right?
He started the Death Eaters cult,
Yeah.
Okay.
like after Hogwarts,
I gotta
and
go
like
back and
basically
watch
he created this cult where, like, and he got more powerful, and then he started killing people, and so he was getting more of an ego because he's like, I'm immortal. Because the deal with the Horcruxes is you're basically like there's a piece of you that always is gonna live. So even if they destroy your body, like your spirit will still
Your
be in these
spirit,
things,
yeah.
and
Continue
then they
to
can come
exist.
together and rebuild you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens,
Yeah.
right? Because when he tries to kill Harry, he basically becomes like he disappears. But then it turns out like his body got all fucked up. But like the Horcruxes, if they were brought together, or if he could kill Harry, then he'll be good. Like he'll restore his body or whatever. But that like basically he's always going to be good because he has these different Horcruxes spread out. So even if Harry, like if he somehow died in that body, it's like, well,
He can be reborn.
I
that
can
shit.
figure something out.
Yeah. We'll put it back together.
It's wild, man. And it's all because he had beef with a child.
I can't believe I read that whole fucking series.
You
It's
read the
amazing.
Harry Potter
Yeah.
series?
My sister
They were
had 'em.
good.
My sister had them, and she was the one that was like, "Yo, you
They
like
were really
these?"
good. They play like movies.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fast read too.
Is it fast read?
And the
It's-
thing is, the mythology is not too complex to follow.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh shit! Like once you figure out like the Elder Wand, all this stuff, you're like, oh,
It's
she
Star
thought this
Wars.
shit through.
It's Star Wars all over again.
It
But
basically
it's
is, yeah.
it's a fast read and it's interesting. It's a crazy world. It's fun.
Star Wars is special. Oh,
But
I'm
the
gonna check it
villains
out,
are
though.
clear. Like the villains are like, I'm a villain.
More cut.
in Harry
Yeah, more
Potter,
clear cut. Yeah.
Except for one where you're like, God, I hate this fucking person, and they're like, actually,
And not to the
I had
end
to
where
do
he
the
like,
show.
Those books were huge too.
Yeah.
monsters, yeah.
Monster. It's like 6
It
Bibles.
saved her, right? Wasn't she like homeless until that book came out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That book, she's like a billionaire now because of that book.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Severus Snape. He wasn't like,
Rest in peace.
you know who I'm talking about? The character I'm talking about?
So who? The
teacher.
He was a teacher who like
He was
always
fucking
makes you
with
think that he was the
Harry.
villain.
Yeah.
Did he become good towards the end?
It was revealed like he kills Dumbledore, and you thinking like this is like not only is he's like worse than we thought, right?
Yeah.
And then they flip it, and they're like, "Yo, he was so undercover, like he was so working like deep undercover, working for like Dumbledore,
Like some of the Departed
like he
shit.
had to show like I'm so loyal to y'all, I'll kill Dumbledore, and Dumbledore was cool with it.
Wow.
Like it got
sacrifice.
I'm
deep.
gonna go back and watch it. I haven't seen Harry Potter in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm going back. So what you got going on these days?
Oh, I got Drunk Black History celebrating Juneteenth in Brooklyn, New York. Come through. We got sponsors Equiano Rum and Sorrel Liqueur. And it's going to be dope. We got a comedian, Electra Telesport. It's going to be my co-host.
How did that get started, Drunk Black History?
Yeah, like it started about 4 years ago. Me and another comedian, we like were brainstorming an idea. Like we were just talking about our backgrounds and how like in the suburbs, being raised by Black Republicans, we didn't really talk about Black history, right?
Right.
But then Black history is a big part of his life, like at home. But we both like in our different environments realized, oh, but at school they don't teach any of this shit. So then
At
we were
all.
like, yeah. So then we were like, oh, like let's start a show where we talk about those important historical people and we just having a few drinks and whatever. And that's how it was molded. And then it eventually became more engaging, more interactive. And stuff like that. Like I really want to make sure it was a very immersive experience for everybody that was there.
What
Not just-
portions of Black history do you do? Like, is it all Black? Well, you can't do all Black history, but what portions? What do you guys cover really?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the subject that the person that we have on the show wants to talk about. So
is it pre-planned or is it like spur?
oh yeah, it's always pre-planned.
So can you
we
tell
gotta
us
do
what
research.
this year's topic is about? Or-
No, because
you gotta
we
wait
like
and see?
those to be like surprise.
Okay.
Or whatever, because it's more fun especially if you don't know who that person is.
Right.
I'd rather you learn from the show than like Google it and then like be at the show and be like, oh yeah, that's true, or like you know what I mean, like
Right.
because I think
okay.
you retain it more too, like in that moment,
Yeah.
like the surprise and everything. And so, but yeah, we've talked about a lot of incredible like inventors, financiers, like people that like even create like the super gun, the super soaker, or
Super
whatever.
Soaker gun, yeah.
and like shit like that. It's been like a dope experience putting the show on and like producing it and hosting it. It's unfortunate I had a falling out with my co-host.
No, what happened?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yo, what? What happened?
Wait, do you really not know?
No, I don't. For
For real?
No,
Oh
real talk.
shit, yeah. So
I don't do.
I used to co-host this show with this guy named Gordon Baker Bone, and out of nowhere, like I was wrapping up stuff in LA, and we had just done a really successful Juneteenth show in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And he had texted me. He's like, "Hey, this guy in Boston wants us to do a Drum Black History show."
Yeah.
And he had done this before. Like mentioned, someone reached out about doing a show, looking in our city and stuff like that. And we had hit the road. We had done like a road show in Boston and DC, and they were okay, but they weren't. You know, that's when me marketing the fuck out of it, hiring a PR firm, all this stuff, right? And so I'm like, okay, we can have a conversation about this Boston show. Like, just start an email thread, because I would always say that to him, and he'd never do it. So I'm like, okay, well,
He
whatever,
won't
right?
follow through.
Exactly.
He'll throw suggestions so you could do the work.
Exactly. So this is like in late June. It's like mid-August. I'm randomly on Instagram right before I go to bed. And then I see Gordon post a picture of us, Drunk Black History, as part of some Boston comedy festival. And it's like in October, and it's showing both he and I. But it's not even a Gordon post. It's a Gordon reposting from someone else.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And so he's like, yeah, I told you about this. I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't. Like, what are you talking about? And so he basically went rogue and booked a show without me.
Wow.
And just thought I'd be okay with doing whatever the fuck he set up. He didn't know what venue it was going to be at. He didn't know how much we were going to get paid. And this is being organized. There's like 2 layers before we would even get anything financially, probably, from this deal. And just the fact that, like, hey, Gordon, let's be honest, I do 98% of the work putting the show together.
Oh, if you still producing the whole
Like,
fucking
I'm
show.
producing the whole thing. I got like a researcher that I pay to do all this stuff. I talk to the venue. I book the talent. I talk to the talent. Like I do everything, right? And you just get to show up and host and get some drinks. And sometimes you have too many drinks. And you've passed out on shows, right?
Oh my God.
No.
And so like I'm like, I can't believe he's doing this. And he's like, well, we can still do the show. And I'm like, first off, it's during Tatiana, my wife's birthday weekend.
Oh yeah.
So that's
second, you don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know I'm back and forth between New York and LA, like, and you know I do the show. Yeah. So that proved to me two things. One is that he thinks he could do the show without me. Right. And two, he's terrible at business. So both of those things told me immediately, like, I can't do this with you anymore. I can't fuck with you anymore. And so basically I was just like,
what was the breakup like?
It was bad. It was bad because we have a lot of mutual friends in comedy.
Oof.
And the problem for me was that a lot of them were just saying, you know, like, yo, don't go too hard on Gordon, or like, you know, he don't be thinking like, you know,
but that's just fucking up your whole brand.
Yeah, I'm like,
I had
guys,
a good thing going.
I'm like, guys, like we're too old now to like not be focused on business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, why would I want to do this show now, knowing that he did this shit? Mind you, he had done some beer festival 2 years prior, I believe, and one of the segments that he was on was called Drunk Black History.
Oh, nasty.
So he's already been doing some shady shit. So I'm like, yo, like, why would I want to do this with you? And so basically, like, he did the Boston show. It looked terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did that show turn out?
He did it anyway.
Oh my God,
that's terrible, yo.
This nigga right here, yo. I'm going fuck what you heard.
And then
fuck what we did together.
I'll do it anyway.
I'm going rogue. Like
and then in February,
wow.
There was an email that he did send me about doing a show in DC or some shit. And at first I was like, well, let me ask them some questions. Like, maybe I'll consider this, right? And then like she got back to me with like information, like both of us about information about how she would split it. She emailed both of us, so that's why I got looped in on it. And I just was like, yo, Gordon, I can't do this with you. Like, if you really feel like you want to do this show, sure, whatever the fuck. But I just can't work with you anymore. Like, I'll never work with you again.
Why in that moment did you feel like you wanted to draw the line? Was it the email? Just you wasn't feeling the vibe anymore?
I just wasn't feeling the vibe, and like I've always trusted my gut when like I'm not into something. I'm not gonna force myself to go through whatever fuck it is, right? You know, I was just like, I'm not feeling it.
You juggling a lot of shit. You don't need the pressure of not wanting to do something now.
And then also, like, my whole thing was, like, I have other ideas. Like, I can do something else, but at the same time, it's like, yo, you clearly don't respect me because you would never have come at me like this if I were, you know, your Decepticomics friends or whatever, or if I wasn't as a nice guy as you know I am to be, you know? And so, like, I'm like, oh, so you're just mistaking my kindness for weakness right now. And so I was like, and I told him straight up, I'm like, yo, like, you know, I have the network. Like, all the black podcasts we go on, I'm the one that set that shit up. Like, I have this network. You know what I'm going to tell them, right? Is that you're a piece of shit.
Oh, shit.
And so he's doing
I'm here for the smoke.
He's doing this show now.
I'm here for the smoke.
Right? In Juneteenth weekend out in Newark, New Jersey. But here's the thing. The show's called Drunk Black History.
He's doing a show, the same show, his name is yours?
He just calls it Drunk Black History Show.
Oh.
That's fucking great.
And the biggest thing is, like, Drunk Black History is a title that's used around the country, like, for shows.
It's not an original title.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even like the most original concept. I think the format I use is original.
It's dope. Yeah.
I think that's unique. But other people do similar events for the culture. Like, I'm not like hating on that.
Yeah.
What I hate on is that Gordon copies and pastes all the hard work I do and just uses my event description
He's
like it's
literally
nothing.
piggybacking off of
He's
your
so
shit.
fucking lazy to the point where his show's called Drunk Black History Show. You go to drunkblackhistoryshow.com, it goes to my website.
That's crazy.
That's
yo.
how little he actually cares about follow through.
Listen.
That's wild, yo.
Listen. Big shout out to Brandon Collins.
Your show is dope. I've been
Thank
to
you.
a handful of them.
I always have a good time.
Always.
Not to be copied.
It's dope.
Or duplicated.
I think my favorite fact was hearing how the slave that got sent to France to learn how to cook and came back and brought back mac and cheese.
Yep.
Like, I learned that from one of his shows.
Hercules Poser, I believe.
Hercules.
I forgot the
Poser.
name, but I remember the story.
Yeah, Sam
and
Jay
I'm like,
told that
this
story,
is
right?
wild. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
this is a
I've
wild
had
fucking
like
story.
And
He's had dope people.
All
like,
these
they
dope
come-
people on the show, Brandon did that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Talk your shit, yo.
Go off.
Come on this podcast, you talking your shit, you heard? Some new flex in the building. We holding niggas too long. Don't come here with no timeline. We don't give a fuck about your timeline on this side.
I feel like I'm with high champs right now. Like y'all got me fucked up.
High champs.
Yo, listen, it's been a good conversation.
Hey, man.
Thank you, man. This has been a lot of fun, man. And y'all got some strong stuff. Like your hospitality is top notch.
Oh, we just hanging out.
Like I said, the vet goes asked me, "What have you been up to the past 10 years?" I was like, "I don't fucking know."
You blacked out.
Got me high as fuck.
Listen, hey,
That was
we got it
crazy.
though.
I've never had that.
We got it. It was just
The fuck is this? The devil's nectar? What
Listen,
is this?
hey, we just get you talking here. You know what I mean? It's Conceited
You
Nobody.
comfortable. You comfortable. You're in a comfortable space.
Shout out to the Nobody Gang.
It's like
Yeah.
fucking
Yo,
Chuckles' pubes. This is strand.
Drunk Black History.
Yes,
June
drunkblackhistory.com.
19th.
Next
Where's
show.
the venue?
Yeah, Littlefield in Brooklyn, New York, 635 Sackett Street. Come through. We're going to be drinking. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. We're going to have some mixed drinks by one of our sponsors, Sorrel Liquor. And then we're also sponsored by Aquiana Rum. So we're going to have some dope giveaways.
Nice.
Come through, man.
Tickets on sale now, right?
Yeah,
Eventbrite?
drunkblackhistory.com.
Drunkblackhistory.com.
Yeah. And then that'll take you to the Eventbrite.
There you go.
Yeah,
But
because
get
I
your
don't
tickets.
remember
I already
Eventbrite.com.
caught tickets. I'm
Thank
there.
you. Thank
you know
man.
I'm there.
It's
Some
gonna be
shows
fun.
are fun. They're a good time. I like talking shit.
cop
with the
tickets. Nigga
I
looked
like,
at me when
I
you
like,
said
I like hanging out after and fucking.
Yo, you said already cop tickets? He took
going.
his
Hey, look at you.
What
What
we doing,
Yeah,
Yeah, what you
you say that.
What's up? What's up? You need the
I'm
link?
about to take his Nigga can't breathe now. Nah, I'm gonna
You need the link?
Nah, yeah.
Wait, we didn't listen to y'all songs.
I'm gonna pull up.
We didn't hear y'all songs, so I feel bad.
Nah,
we
we
got
halftime. We got halftime.
Yeah,
Play some music. I know you trying to
play
ride
some
here,
music
so I'm
now,
trying to
so
hold
you
you
get
as
out.
long as
Yeah,
possible.
we can go
Nice
like 20
roll
more
out.
minutes.
Yo, there you go.
Whatever you want,
Play some
yo.
music.
We
Yeah.
hanging out. We hanging out.
We hanging out. You
Who we
late
got?
now.
Sexy Red?
Yo, big
That's
sexy.
your shit.
Shout out to Sexy
Halftime.
Red.
Mr. Douche.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
You know, I did want to talk about before we, because I want to talk shit about your musical choice here. This is a very, very nice Anderson .Paak.
Well, the Daydreaming. He broke it down.
Daydreaming, yeah. I wanted to talk shit
smooth.
about it, but then you broke
No,
it down,
it's
and I was
smooth.
like, damn, this
It's
is
fire. It's fire.
this is pretty good. I want to shit on this because his story afterwards kind of like put my shit talking fire.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
I'm
like,
sorry, I was listening like, I don't.
No,
I
I
don't
like
like to
it.
judge
I like
people's
it.
music. You
I
know,
like, no, listen.
You know what it is?
Oh no, I like Anderson .Paak, but it's just like I like.
no, it's a smooth song, and like I said, like the scene that came to my head was a very like it was a different spin on the romantic, like not meet cute.
It's not the typical I love you record.
I just thought there would be
When it
some.
came on the first time, I'm like, I gotta hear what he says about this.
I just think it'd be interesting about this little like something like also made me laugh a little bit about like a pretty preppy white boy that's like talking to this black girl, and then she's like, what kind of music you listen to? And he puts this on. I just feel like there's something like, oh, okay, he might get the pussy because of that. You know what I mean?
And
It's
So
like
Paak
mutual
hits.
ground. It's mutual ground.
And then that took me to creating a fucking horror comedy.
A good one.
I like good music. You know what I mean? So if it sounds good, no matter where it come from, I want to hear it. But then I also want to hear why you like it. You feel me? But big shout out to Sexy Red. This is Sexy Red over Bad. This is Conceitednobodi, Johantheamerican, Red1der, Renan Collins. We got him here for the second half, so stay
Proto
tuned.
Blackens.
Come back again.
He's here. Medium Popcorn. Drunk Black History.
drunkblackhistory.com.
June
Do your
19th.
Googles.
Google
Get
it.
Yeah, put in the Googles. It's all my show.
Yeah, tell them
flooded the
Conceited
shit out.
Nobody sent you. You're not getting no discount, but tell them we sent you.
With all the smoke. We don't take no secondary shows on this side.
Yeah, it's big booties. Consider nobody.
Cheer.
All right, we back.
Again, shout out to Frodo Blackens for hanging out with us, aka
You said
Brandon
Frodo
Collins.
Blackens?
Frodo Blackens, the Lord of the Rings Hobbit. He would have been the only black Hobbit. He's funny, yo.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Medium Popcorn, drunkblackhistory.com. Get tickets. Fun show. It's a fun show. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, because you've done it like 2 or 3 times already. right?
More, yeah. He's been doing it a couple years. It's funny, yo. It's funny. It's dope. You learning shit. You laughing. And like you said, he sets up the guests and they talk about whoever they want to talk about. So from what I've seen so far, it's usually American Black History people that we never hear their stories. Like you said, the schools ain't teaching them.
Right.
And it's a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like
It's
it.
comedians. He's talking
Yeah,
shit.
he's
It's
drinking.
It's funny. Drinking, hanging
Can't
out.
beat it. Get the tickets. Where's the tickets at again?
DrunkBlackHistory.com. Yeah, for Juneteenth this year. 2024. Shout out to y'all in the future listening in like 2068.
I'm trying to look it up now.
Oh, I wanted to ask him. I saw some shit about, I forgot. I saw some shit about Sony officially made a statement. They're going to use AI in the next Spider-Man movie.
What?
Like to use as animation.
So, how are they using the AI?
To save fucking labor cost.
Well, what are they using the AI for, though?
To make illustrations.
Oh, to make
So
illustrations.
to cut out artists.
Oh.
It's crazy, right?
That's trash.
That sucks. Especially how dope those cartoon movies were.
Yeah. Well, the AI is not going to be able to give that human stroke.
It's not. Not that I
So-
heard. I mean, I thought that movie was done already. So I don't know.
When you try to mass produce art,
I want to look into
doesn't
that.
come
Was a
out.
quick thing that jumped on my timeline. I didn't do no research on it yet, so I don't know how legit that is. But a Sony exec said they're gonna use AI in the next Spider-Man movie. But I gotta do more research. But that sucks if they're already using AI and they're announcing it like that.
Yeah, I mean, AI is getting used a lot in the industry to do a lot of things, but like just say to use it for the entire project,
Yeah,
you still need an artist.
Yeah.
I think it'd be.
I don't want to hear that shit, yo.
People are gonna notice. You're gonna be able to tell because the computer, it's not there yet. You know what I mean?
No
I can't
way.
even imagine. I mean, you use AI to round the edges and stuff like that, but to try to like make a whole character,
Yeah,
nah, you
I
gotta
don't like that
relax.
shit.
They don't spend a lot of money on nothing. They usually give me like a third of that bread around these niggas up. Make a hell of a movie. Word.
That Godzilla movie's on Netflix. I gotta see that shit. Godzilla -1. That was that Japanese movie.
Oh, the one that they came out with. I
It
heard
was
that was
like
good.
they made like a remake like a year ago or 2 years ago.
Like a pre-Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a reboot. Like they're not redoing the original, but it's like Godzilla's first, like let's say this was his first appearance.
Right.
And I heard the story was great. The shit won a fucking Oscar for best visual effects.
Wow.
Which is crazy because this movie had a budget of like $40 million.
Mm.
And you got all these American movies spending
$16 billion.
$200 million on a fucking movie and
Making
then
$2 back.
looking like cartoons, looking worse than X-Men 97 animation.
$8,000 toilet seats.
Shit is crazy. No, but I want to catch that movie. I think it's on Netflix. That's gonna be the next thing I see.
I want to see what because I knew there was a version that the Japanese had made, and I was like, yo, that's
That
gonna be the version. to see.
-1.
Yeah, because that's their story.
Yeah, it's their shit. It's their character.
Shit. It's their character. Like, of course, you're gonna make it good. The first hit was from them. Like, so yeah.
It's like imagine Superman. His first appearance was in America, and then for the last 60 years, China's been
Trying to
creating.
duplicate
Been dominating Superman. Been ODing on Superman movies.
Wow, now.
That's what we've been doing with Godzilla, yo. We just kept making Godzilla movies. China stopped. Well,
Cut 'em
Japan.
out.
Japan stopped after the first
Yeah,
one.
enough.
That's it. They were
Right?
good.
It
They
was
were
good.
good.
We said that's a good story. You gonna run with that one?
I'm talking shit.
Godzilla all in the U.S. and shit.
Oh, it's funny.
But that was good. That was a good conversation, yo.
That was good, man. I miss hanging out with him, yo. We used to hang out more.
That St. John's era, 03, 04, man.
That shit had to be wild.
Yeah.
Right after high school for us.
Yeah. I remember that time period. That's when 50 was going large.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's where a lot of my J. Cole hate comes from. Queens! You know what I mean?
Funny.
Well, where we at? How's your
We
week?
catching up. Nothing fucking working. You think this is a scam? Scam of the week? I had somebody knock on my door saying they're from the state supplying solar panels. That the state is incentivizing homeowners to get solar panels.
Really?
And you want to hear, it's just sounds too good to be true, yo.
Mm.
He was like, you get free installation on the solar panels. Obviously, you get a lower electricity bill.
Mm.
You get tax rebates.
Mm.
So your taxes get deducted. You get a $20K check. I was like, what's that for? For like it goes towards the installation? And he goes, no, that's cash. That's you do whatever you want with that.
Yeah.
I said, what?
Okay.
Oh, and if we see your roof needs any adjustments for installation, we'll just redo the whole roof. And I said, what's the catch? Because this sounds crazy.
I think I know what it is. What is it?
He say you just gotta have this type of style roof. You have the location of your house where there's no blockage of sun. That's my yard. And you gotta be in a certain neighborhood, and you qualify. It's the state's program. It's a state-funded program that's incentivizing homeowners to get solar panels. So I'm like, so I'm qualified just because of the style of my house? He said, yeah. So nobody else can qualify on my block? He said, no. And I go, and that's their fucking problem.
So you went with it?
I told him make an appointment. I want more details.
More details.
Because I was like, this sounds crazy. Like, what I gotta sign my life away? Do you get like a piece of the house or some shit at some point? Like,
my boy was saying the city was doing a program, but then in that program, the city would basically own your roof.
That's what they didn't mention nothing like that. That's what I'm gonna ask about. I'm gonna ask shit like that. Like, do you gain rights over my house or my property or some shit like that?
Yeah, something like that.
The way I look at it is how everything is going digital and electrical, and how many times I said there's no way the grid can accommodate this shit. Yeah. I think this is it. I think they're gonna try to incentivize people to add solar panels so I could be like a little battery on the side that they could feed off of.
Yeah, because when the city was trying to do it, they were saying that like the area of Queens that I'm in, just our area could fuel all of New York City if everybody got solar.
If everybody got it. But everybody got to get down, and nobody wants to deal with that shit.
But then what happens is and don't get me right in the math here, because my boy had the same reaction you had. It sounded too good to be true.
Yeah.
And he's like you. He went and dug a little bit. And it was like the electric company, the amount of money that they're making on energy off of you is astronomical. You know what I mean? Compared to like what they're receiving. And then you still have to pay a media light bill. Like, it's not like it goes away all the way.
No. He said they'll bring it down. He said it could go down to $20 a month.
Yeah, so there's two parts of your light bill. The cost of electricity and
the delivery. Yeah.
That delivery is half the bill.
But once that delivery's gone, because I'm going to be generating my own shit.
The cost of electricity be gone because you be generating your own shit. The delivery is always going to be there.
Oh, yeah? So I'm paying the delivery?
When you find out, I want to find out more when you find out, but that's what he was saying.
Yeah, I'm going to ask those questions.
Now, we talked about it before on one of the episodes. Like, you can change your delivery. You know what I mean?
And I asked them about that. If there's an emergency or something, Con Ed will still be responsible to help me out if I got something wrong with the electric.
But here's my thing. If there's a problem with electric in your house, Con Ed is not fixing it, right? It's not their problem. They're only fixing outside.
Oh, the power, I meant. Yeah. Anything wrong with the power, not electric. Yeah.
If I have panels and I don't need to be connected to your grid, why am I paying anything at all? Period. You know what I'm saying? Because with the panels that I have, it will do what it needs to do from one single house, 1,000%.
Yeah.
You put panels on the roof, they're so efficient these days, you'll be good. With some batteries. They do it in other countries. Where like in Haiti, people put solar panels on the roof and that's their electric.
And you're not on the grid or nothing.
Yeah.
You just
you feel me? So
you your own power supply.
That's what I want to like find out. And in his thing, he didn't do it because he was worried about it contracted you in. He said it was like a lifetime contract, life of the house. So even when you sold the house, the new owners would have to
inherit that
those contract terms.
Oh, that's whack.
Right?
That's not a good selling point.
And he was like, yo, he wants to wait and see if there's a gray market where homeowners can sell electricity back. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to get contract. He didn't want to get contracted in right away without seeing how the market develops. You know what I mean?
That's smart.
And that was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
This is pre-COVID.
Years
COVID
ago.
was already 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
years ago.
No, I'm
But
thinking
I'm
about
interested.
it. I mean, it sounds like a little jackpot,
But
yo.
the plus side too, though, is they warranty your roof. So you got a leak in the roof.
Bro, they're gonna redo the roof, they said.
So
I'm gonna get a new roof. I'm good for another 20 years then.
roofs are expensive.
Yeah, no shit. What?
You know what I mean? They're expensive. He did it. I'm gonna ask him again, but he did the math with the delivery fees and shit, and he was like, "Yo, long term they get you, but I want to see the fees and breakdowns." And then
They're gonna get me either way. I might as well get something out of it. I'm gonna just getting a new roof is huge.
I don't like lifetime contracts.
No, I wouldn't sign up for no lifetime shit.
Yeah, you know
if that's what I'm giving. He said nothing about anything like that. He said I'm qualified for their program. So if it's that because of the neighborhood,
if it's very specific like that, maybe it's not the same thing.
So that's what I'm saying. He came to me. He rang my doorbell. I wasn't looking for it. It's not like they selling me something. They just giving me. It sounds like they letting the public know the opportunities that are available to them.
But I think to your point though, they don't have we can't supply our energy needs by having singular power points that feed cities anymore. Cities gonna have to be like
They got to rely on the people now.
Yeah,
They need some
self-running.
assistance.
Yeah, people gonna have to put them panels up, power your
Okay.
shit, and then we all collectively
Put me
power
down. Yeah,
neighborhoods.
and now we power our own neighborhoods.
But then
So
my
it's not
thing
such
is like,
a strain on the city.
even if the city, what fucking makes me struggle is that delivery fee. What are you delivering?
You don't want to pay it no more.
No.
You don't want the bill. You don't want
what
the
are
bill.
you delivering? I'm already paying taxes for the city to take care of like utilities.
Any
and-
utility, yeah.
right? So that's being covered. Why am I paying Con Ed anything?
Mm-hmm.
Get them niggas out of here.
Hopefully, yeah.
But that's not gonna happen.
That's not
you
gonna
know?
happen.
Yeah, you know it's Con Ed.
That's why if they get it down to $20, shit, that's huge.
I need
saving
$20
hundreds.
forever. My
Lock me
AC
in.
run all day.
Lock me in. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck
If they
about what you
telling
got
me
going
that,
on.
if they telling me that, and I get a roof and another 20 grand, what?
I always say they just need to put this shit into our taxes and let us do. You know what I mean?
And a tax rebate?
Tax rebate is gonna be good. How long is the tax rebate for?
It's up to 4 years.
Oh, that's pretty good.
What?
Yeah. But now it's up to 4 years. If you were to, this is some.
I got to
real-
get more details. This guy was just presenting me information. He was like, I can't give you everything. You would have to talk to the manager.
If you were like, if you put your own solar panel up, I wonder if that capital cost would allow you to depreciate it over a few years anyway on your taxes. But that's real boring account shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yo, let me know, man. I'm interested.
I'm definitely interested. It's like a little jackpot. So if I get a new roof, I redid the windows. I just got a new back fence. And with this extra money, I could redo the doors.
Right.
And I already saw how much my house jumped almost 20% in value.
Right.
And they don't know what I did to the house. I redid the floors before I moved in. I hooked my crib up, yo.
Yeah.
My house is worth more than what they think is worth.
Yeah.
That is getting me like wet. Where that shit at, yo? Just thinking about that. The fact that I had this house for 3 years and it's up 20%.
Yeah, you know, that real estate boy.
I got in at the right time, son.
It's,
Right before it popped off.
It's always a good time to buy a crib, as long as the numbers make sense.
You gotta be up too.
Oh yeah, right.
And then
Co-ops,
with this shit going on around here,
this move, this is a little bit more stable. It didn't go too far down during COVID, but it doesn't move too far up outside.
it's not a
You know what I
big
mean?
jump, but it's
Yeah.
going up.
But it was steady. You know what I mean? For me, the big thing with this was like keeping my expenses low. And this is like gives
This is
me the
perfect.
leverage. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was talking to the other A, right? And he bought his cribs right after the stand. So this is right after the 08 crash.
Oh, he got it good.
He's in. He
made a
he
killer.
copped like 3 during that time period.
Oh. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm hyped. Because once I crack my debt down, and then if my equity's up, I'll take out fucking HELOC and buy 2 buildings, yo.
Yeah. That's where he's at right now. He's just looking at he's at it for like 10, 15 years. So he's like, yo, he's trying to
I
see
can
where
get
he
2
can
buildings before I retire. Straight.
ride it out.
Nice pension, nice retirement, nice fucking. Oof.
Conceited.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
This podcast went a whole different direction, didn't it?
Gotta bring Brandon
These
back.
guys was like, first half.
Man, now we talking about bills,
and them
home
bills
renovations.
all the fun left.
We was talking about all the Hollywood hijinks and shit.
Fuck, yo. Why we get so serious?
We gotta get Brandon again.
right.
Brandon's funny, yo. He's funny to hang out with. Cause he got the New York vibe to him, but he's not from New York.
What's the New York vibe? for
He
you?
liked to claim New York. I just thought he was from New York, just how he carries himself. Once you talk to him and get to know him, you could tell. Oh wait, you're not from here, but he picks up on it quick. He picked up on it quick,
Yeah. Oh, he's been here for a long time.
and he bagged a New Yorker, so that counts. That counts a little bit.
A little bit. You know, if you
Yeah, because I don't know if she bagged him. I think he bagged her.
junior high school and high school here for me. You gotta
So 12
be
years,
here,
right? 12 years.
You gotta be here between 6th grade and 12th grade.
K through 12. I think.
K through 12 is ultimate, right? But you know they get mad. People,
Get mad. You
people
know
move
the
around
past.
a lot when they're kids and shit.
What happened? It's not their fault.
So at the bare minimum,
6 years.
6th to 12th grade. Yeah.
What about K through 6, and then you leave? You can say I'm from Brooklyn.
Nah, because high school is where you make your reputation. That's where you know what I mean. High school is where like, yo, that's where it makes you who you are. A
So
lot of
my kids can't claim Brooklyn.
Nah, they claim the island.
Yeah.
By the time they graduate, they can't sign the island. Because all the relationships that they're gonna make now, those will be the ones.
That's life.
Yeah,
That's life and beyond.
Brooklyn is like elementary school. Like, do you talk to anybody from elementary school?
No.
Yeah, come on. Where you Staten Island? Hey, yo, forget about it.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
How you doing? What's up, Mo?
facts, yo.
Fucking Staten Island.
You know, I'll tell you
motherfuckers.
what's been happening to me a lot lately as I'm getting older. I just be falling asleep
All the time.
all the time, son.
I used to get mad at my moms for falling asleep watching a movie in the crib. That's
That's
my
me.
go-to.
Yo, son.
I think that's my favorite pastime now, right after sex.
Yo,
It's
look,
sex and put a movie on and fall asleep to it.
bro.
In that order. That's the best night.
hanging out with my partner last night. All I remember is like she had made some drinks, and then I had we were doing our Duolingo, and then I had finished mine. I put my head on her shoulder. That was it. Party done.
Wait, we just lay down on top of her?
Just like you know how you just lean on somebody real quick.
And that was,
Yeah, I remember feeling my head was heavy. I'm like, let me just put it on her shoulder right here. She was like, yo, you was knocked out.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Knocked out, son.
You was drinking.
Yo.
Green tea? What the
You
fuck
like
is that?
she had like a ginger whiskey concoction.
Nice.
But I don't know what it is, bro. Like that 10, 11 o'clock hit. But if I don't take a nap midday, my nigga.
Oh, naps are vital if I'm trying to hang out.
Listen.
I'm stretching this shit out now. I'm glad we recording this early.
Who are we? Who are we?
I'm an old B. Conceited old bodies. 40 this year, yo.
Oh man.
I'm old.
Going to Africa.
Shout out to you, yo. Congrats. Where's that shit at? Damn. I want to be on the right page for this shit, yo.
Congratulations.
On touchdown.
Officially.
Stand on the helms.
You went out there for like 10 days, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be a bit.
I'm happy. I wish I could go.
I wish I could go.
The timing is just I can never go anywhere during that time.
Yeah. Well, when you retire, I'm sure you
Yeah,
go.
that's I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out for
You're
my
not doing
birthday.
no more birthdays in New York.
And PR or those are the only two spots I was at.
Yeah.
I'm doing my birthday. That's gonna be my goal. I want to
Outside.
celebrate my birthday in a different place.
Yeah. Now you can.
My birthday and New Year's, because New Year's in Puerto Rico is fun. So I could imagine like going somewhere different every year.
Yeah, I've never done New Year's in my birthday outside of like the military. I've always done it in New York.
In New York,
and no problem with it, but definitely
it's over. We've had enough.
ain't enough. Yeah. Every time, every New Year's when it comes around, I be thinking about things to do, and I be like, I've done that 2 or 3 times, done this 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean?
Maybe that'll be my thing once I retire. Different city for my birthday.
It's that late year birthday. But summertime is here though. Weather got good.
Weather got good, man. I'm ready for the beach, yo.
You ready for the beach?
I'm so ready. I bought another beach blanket.
Did you get that big canopy thing you was talking
Rollick,
about?
nah. I was eyeing it. It was $200. I'm like, let me chill the fuck out, yo.
The canopy on the beach, yes.
Because I already got the 2 umbrellas. I got the giant beach blanket. I'm
be
like,
coming out
we
to the
good,
beach
yo.
ready, yo.
I already got that shit. And then if I get the canopy, I gotta get the wagon. Because now I gotta carry that shit
too.
Because I'm not carrying the canopy down the beach.
That's the other thing I don't miss about being young. Yeah, having your comforts as you move around.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, fuck that. I'm carrying everything. With
I used to have the wagon when my kids was babies. Now that they young able men, you carry shit, bro.
Yeah, right.
I got the cooler. You grab the chairs. You grab the umbrellas.
That's awful.
And mommy got the blankets. We good.
That's awful.
She got the towels.
Got these kids out
Everybody
here
pull their
working,
weight. I'm not
struggling.
dragging that wagon no more. If I get the canopy, I gotta get the wagon.
Yeah.
Now that's another $50. Now it's $250 plus tax. Now it's $300 in my purchase.
Yeah.
I ain't get the solar panels yet. Maybe I'll splurge. Maybe I'll splurge once that check clears. If you see me with the wagon, that means I got solar panels on my house, yo.
Panels is up.
We good, yo. AC
juicy.
running in the crib.
You know
I'm on the beach.
when there's a blackout, your house still
I'm
has
good.
lights on.
Yeah, brown out, blackout.
But I
I'm
wonder if
good.
that's the truth. He's still connected to the grid.
I don't know. I hope so. I'll be tight if it's not.
I will be tight too.
I'll make a phone call. I'll send the nasty
very
email.
least.
I'll send the nasty email.
Like,
this is unacceptable.
You know how much I paid?
You know how much my roof cost? I didn't pay.
You promised.
I'll be
Ain't not-
irate.
And not like complaining on a customer service line.
I'll be
Nobody gives a
irate.
fuck. They just
Oh
be,
man, that's when I go off and I'm like, yo, I know it's not you. I know it's not you, but fuck this right now. Yo, this is bullshit.
They just be on the phone like, oh, okay.
Oh my God, it took me 10 days to get this medicine I was supposed to get. I'm talking to 3 different fucking entities that's dealing with my shit. And I'm just so mad. I'm like, yo, I was supposed to get this shit yesterday. Now I'm late. What the fuck is gonna happen? And it was that, a whole bunch of running around. Back and forth, calling everybody every day. I just got my shit today. I'm like, this is wild. And I told everybody, do I have to do this every month to get my shit? Like every time I need my shit, I gotta go through
You
this.
can't mail it?
They supposed to mail it.
Oh.
Then it's the bullshit. It's mad expensive. We can't just leave it. You got to schedule delivery. Nobody's calling me to schedule delivery. Oh, your doctor got to approve. My doctor said they sent the approval letter. We didn't get it yet. They got to send the rejection letter. I'm like, yo, why the fuck I got to make all these connections? Y'all should be talking to each other.
Nah, that's not how that works. You're the only reason why we would talk
And
to
then,
each other.
and then I don't call me until my shit is late. Because I'm like, yo, I was supposed to get my shit yesterday. What's going on? Oh, by the way, you didn't know? Oh, guess what's going on? This is why you're not getting your shit. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
The American
You
dream.
run those customer service people ragged, boy.
Fuck them. I'll be cursing them out.
Damn.
I know it's not you, but this is bullshit.
Make sure you hit him in the comments.
Yeah, fuck that, yo. We got
Yeah.
real old on this side of the podcast.
Listen, I don't know, bro.
We
They
getting
left
older.
all the fun.
Yeah, word. Fuck.
Damn, all the joy is gone. We just naggy
We'll have a
old
good
man
time,
on this
man.
side.
I got my hair done for the weekend. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
did?
pissed off.
What you doing this weekend?
I want to go to the beach.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, which one you going to?
Man, I'll go to Coney. I don't know.
Coney. Ah,
Because the weather was supposed to be shit. It was supposed
this
to be
weekend?
like, it was supposed to. When me and wifey were talking about it, like early in the week, I looked at it, 72 and chance of rain, like 70% chance of rain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe not this weekend.
Shit.
It's
Sunny
still
little
early.
motherfucker.
Still early. Today, I was out and about working. I felt the sun, and I'm like, this feels like energized. I felt like Superman.
Yes, sir.
Soaking up the sun.
Listen.
I feel like this feels amazing.
Listen.
I need to be by the water. I want to be with sand in my toes.
Sand in your toes.
Let me check the weather. Check that shit. Tomorrow, 82 degrees.
Woo!
Not a cloud in the sky.
Not a cloud in
I
the
said,
sky.
oh, this shit turned around for me.
It's time to go.
I'm gonna get solar panels and I'm gonna be Captain Planet soaking that shit
Yeah,
up.
my top. I was drop top Joe all day today.
That's
nigga.
drop top. Yeah, it's drop top season, yo.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah,
You know, I love putting up the light. I'll put my shit up just to put the light. Stun on them real
Fuck
quick.
yeah. What you playing? What music you
Hey,
playing?
yo, what we playing? We out of here? What time
No,
is it?
I'm saying, what you playing in the drop top when you do that? You're not like obnoxiously loud with the music?
I'll be playing sexy all day. Sexy, walk, sexy, walk. What? I'll do it on purpose, huh? I'll turn the corner, bring it back up, hit the light, wait for a good crowd, and just especially on a sunny day. Nigga, everybody, people sitting down. I was on a Jackie.
Good, yo.
I was on a Jackie digging. I got my summer outfit on.
Mm-hmm.
This girl was on this lady was talking about the hoochie daddy shorts. Told my men that if your man come outside and his shorts is acceptable length, she said, is like right by the kneecap, every 2 inches.
You passed that.
Yeah, right. I'm like every 2. By the time he gets 4 inches up, you gotta take his wallet and his keys. Where is he going? And she's like, yo, you come outside with a matching outfit, forget about it.
It look like you got the romper on.
Listen, it does look like I got a romper on, right? The male romper.
Them fucking thigh highs, yo. Them fucking shorts is going up high. Your balls is gonna fall out.
Listen, gotta let them know. It's advertising.
That's hoochie daddy season.
It's hoochie
daddy with the drop top.
You know what I mean? Kill him. I'm on a Jackie. A nigga on in the Benz pulled up and he rolling. I thought he was trying to like get over. He was like, nigga. He had you know how you stutter, nigga, had to give you some love. He was like, yo, you looking good, baby. You doing it, son. You doing it. That's what he said. He's like, yo, you killing it. I hugged him twice, like, yeah.
New York is funny, yo.
New York is funny like that, son. The nigga, yo, I just see I thought you trying to get in front.
You got road props, not even road rage.
You know what I mean? You roll out the window down. Yo, cause I have a top down glass. I have my cool shades on, music blasting. The nigga like, yo, you doing it, son. You killing it right now. Yo, shout out to New York City, man.
Oh, shit,
It's not like New York in the summer, man.
Nah.
We had said last time, summer's like 9 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day
To Labor Day.
And then in those 9 weeks time, you have to find every night is magical.
Yeah, you can make it.
Yeah. It don't matter who you are. Every night is magical.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? From even the fucking police department, they turn up in the summer. They know summertime come and get more active. You know, if you work in emergency services, you know it's about to get busy.
Overtime.
There's overtime's about to hit. If the clubs is open, the club's about to, these are the hours. Bars, sandwich spots, everybody line up. Food courts, all types of shit. New York in the summer is a special place, man. I've always wanted to be here in the summer. Like, no matter how old or where I travel to or decide to live to, like, next, New York City for those 9 weeks, nigga. And then, Labor Day comes.
I'm going to try to avoid the city, too.
With Manhattan?
Yeah.
When is that congestion pricing hit?
The end of this month.
Oh.
They already shut down the BQE on this weekend, they shut it down. I had to go through Lower Manhattan to get to fucking Brooklyn because I didn't want to deal with the detour.
What was the detour bringing you to?
The detour where they shut down the BQE from Atlantic Ave to like the Brooklyn Bridge. So that whole turn by the water shut down. They doing construction for the whole weekend.
Okay,
so they're making everybody get off at Atlantic Ave, where Atlantic Ave is already crazy.
Yeah.
To get to the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge if you want to jump back on the BQE. I said, nah, I just hopped on the battery tunnel, took the FDR uptown.
That's a toll?
Yeah. Because I'm still paying tolls. So it's like, this is stupid. Congestion pricing. They got me.
They got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm staying out. I'm not trying to drive in the city.
I'm going to avoid the city.
That congestion pricing. I want to see what happens when it hits.
There's going to be fun shit to do. My yard is fucking real nice this year. I'm going to be hanging out in my yard a lot.
Yo, that's a good place to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to see if I work on my deck, too.
What you doing to the deck? You trying to
change the wood? Yeah, it's like fucking falling apart. I already got all of it. Bo hooked me up. I just got to fucking cut
Install
it and put it. Yeah.
Labor.
That's it. Work. Yeah.
Yo, you talk to that neighbor behind you, yo. Throw him a couple dollars.
Yeah, yo, what's up, man?
Hook
me up. Yeah, he did the fence quick.
Yo,
son.
that fence look good back there. I'd have been like, yo,
what's up?
I got this deck.
Yeah, I got the wood.
I got the wood. What you need? You know what I mean? Like a couple of dollars, some bed. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yo, fuck that.
Ecuadorian family, yo.
I mean, you know, you work something out. Fuck that.
I gotta do something.
Cause I ain't
more part. Well, my shit going up, and the deck is gonna be redone. I'm hyped.
But it's New York City in the summer. Yo, are you trying to do a 5K to open the summer up this year?
I was talking about that shit today too.
Yeah, I'm glad.
How more full of shit I was thinking I was gonna do a 5K in Nashville.
It was just too early.
I talked about doing the New York City Marathon. I'm super full of shit. I'm never running that shit.
Oh, don't say that.
26 miles. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, if you decide to do it one day.
I just got to get the motivation to run.
Oh, we got to flush.
When's the 5K? Like in October? I'm not doing it now in the dead of the summer.
Nah, I got a 5K coming up in June. We got to open the summer.
Nah, yo. I got to train, bro. I'm not doing a 5K
it's a 5K.
flat. You want me running? You want me walking the 5K?
You could walk it. You don't have to run the whole thing.
I did the last one in what, 33 minutes, 36 minutes, I think.
Yeah, you don't have to run the whole thing. You know what I mean? You can walk it. It's just it's a fun activity. Get outside. There's a few of these. Let me see. I'm gonna find a fun one.
Find the fun one.
You know what I mean?
Find like the 5K where you could talk shit, joke around. Maybe some of those too, right? Those paint ones where you throw paint at each other or something.
I think we might have missed those. Those was like April, like spring and shit. Like as the summertime starts to come, you start to get to more of the serious races.
Yeah, fuck that.
But the 5K is usually pretty fun though. You know what I mean? Because 5K is considered like the warm up for niggas.
Yeah.
You know, like the race that we ran last year, they actually had a 5K and a 10K.
Yeah.
So the people who do the 10K just double.
You got to do it twice.
Yeah. And you know what? We good. I'm gonna try to find one, get out there and get it going. It's a great way to
find one. It's gonna motivate me to get back outside and run around. I gotta run.
Yo, right?
I gotta run. I gotta get back in the gym because I already feel the body aches coming back. When I'm not in the gym, I'll be aching. This is really old man shit,
Listen,
yo. I gotta shut the fuck up.
All the fun is gone.
I gotta go back to the strip
You just
club.
keep coming back with it,
I
yo.
know, I can't, man. I gotta get my youth back.
All the topics, this nigga just,
Let's go to the strip club.
the
Damn,
bills,
wife's not
my
feeling
body,
good.
my ankles.
My wife ain't fucking feeling good, yo. I gotta go pick her ass up.
She not feeling good?
Shit, I was gonna take her out, maybe hang out later, but
It's a nice day to sit in the yard.
yeah, it is. Beautiful night.
What's this shit about Tyson fight being postponed?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look it up. I didn't see how factual it was. They said Tyson had an ulcer on a flight or some shit. That he passed out on a flight, emergency landing, some shit. That he wasn't healthy enough to be boxing, to be fighting. I don't know if they canceled it, postponed it, or if all that's rumors.
So the upcoming boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson on July 20 has been postponed.
Oh, motherfucker.
Tyson experienced a health issue on a flight from Los Angeles to Miami that required medical attention. Initially, it didn't appear that it would affect the fight, but that has changed after Tyson's most recent health checkup. During a follow-up consultation on Thursday with medical professionals on his recent ulcer flare-up, the recommendation is for Mike Tyson to do minimal to light training over the next few weeks and then return to full training with no limitations. A new fight date is expected to be announced June 7th.
Wait, June? Not June 7th.
No, they're going to announce a new date on June 7th.
Oh, okay, my bad. Damn.
Maybe they're trying to switch venues up.
Switch venue. That Dallas stadium is huge. That's a good venue.
We got a lot of excitement behind this. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like, yo, hold up. People are really interested in
Something
this.
bigger?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Because Tyson getting ulcer is like, you got an ulcer on here? Like, it's a bacterial infection?
Nah, I don't like. What? That's no good? That's not serious?
It's serious, especially at a man 52 years old, but it's something you get from food, from eating. What did Tyson eat and then leading up to the fight?
Okay. I thought maybe it was like some overtraining shit. Maybe he shouldn't be training as hard as he should be.
Well, ulcers is like, it's a bacterial thing.
I thought it was like a
stomach.
strain. I thought it was like a stress thing.
Nah.
Oh, yeah, it's bacteria?
It's
His
bacteria.
diet?
It's like something in his diet. You telling me Tyson in the weeks before the fight is his diet is not pristine right now?
I don't know what's going on.
This nigga's eating the same shit for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Come on, you see his training.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my, I'm over here speculating. But just for me,
You think they're making up the conditions so they could try to shop around another venue?
I think so.
They're stalling?
If you see them pop up with another venue, then
Then you're right.
yeah.
Conspiracy, nobody.
Because the fight got a lot of hype, and I think
Hell
people took it
yeah.
as a joke in the beginning. And
It's Tyson, though.
it is Tyson.
I want to see Tyson fight. I'm only watching this fight because of Tyson.
Yeah, that's a fact.
If they cancel this fight, guess what? I'll never have to see a Jake Paul or Logan Paul fight.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I don't give a fuck about that.
The other theory is maybe Jake Paul is scared, and this is his way of backing out.
Cancel. Because now you definitely get no points knocking out an old man with an ulcer.
You got an ulcer. He could be like, yo, I can't fight no more. Nobody's going to say nothing to that. They're going to be like, yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. He had the ulcer. You go out and fight somebody else. Is Mayweather still out there in Dubai?
I don't know. He might be hemmed up still.
Somebody need to check on Money Mayweather, yo. It's been a minute.
But he's tight.
Facts. I think he's stuck in Dubai, son. What's he doing out there? What's going on?
Shit.
They be liking weird things out there, yo. I hope he all right.
I hope he good. I hope he don't got to pay back no debt, no doing no wild shit.
You know what I mean? See Mayweather in 6 months looking crazy. Like, yo, what's up? What happened? Nah, it's not jokes. It's real shit. I'm concerned.
What you got planned? You don't got nothing going on this weekend?
No, not really. It's summertime. I'm trying to stay low, enjoy the weather.
Bounce around.
Yeah, I've been like the last few months. I've just been all over the fucking place. So I don't like the night market's going on tonight in Flush Meadows Park. They just started out with that. Yeah, they have food vendors out there.
Oh, nice.
Selling food and shit. Could be a good time.
Oh, that sounds dope.
But yeah, I'm not trying to do nothing too crazy. I'm gonna be out of town next week. Oh shit, I'm gonna be out of town next week. But other than that, nah.
Okay.
Yeah, laying low. The weather's nice, man.
Nice start.
It's fucking New York City in the summer. It's no better place to be.
I can't wait.
You know what I mean? Fucking.
We get the fuck out of here, yo.
Shout out to Brandon. You guys make sure you go see
drunkblackhistory.com,
Big
Medium
facts.
Popcorn Podcast for movie reviews.
You heard it first. Conceitednobodi.
Follow him at was it Frodo_Blackens on IG. I think that was it.
Conceitednobodi.
Cheer. What we wrapping this up with?
Yo, we gonna get
Oh,
out
your
of here.
boy, Shabubi. Shabuzi, I mean, pardon me. Not that one. That's the trailer.
Oh shit.
The Burn It, the Let It Burn.
Oh, Let It Burn. That's where we was at with it.
Yeah.
This is Shabuzi, Let It
Let
Burn.
it burn. Let it burn. Album out.
God damn it, Martha, they came again with this shit. It's such a good tune, though.
He got hate, damn it.
Hate. Let's Conceitednobodi, Johantheamerican, Red1der. Make sure you guys follow us on the YouTubes and the Instagrams and all that other good shit. Each and every Wednesday at 7 a.m. new episodes. This is Shabuzi, Let It Burn. We're gonna get out of here. Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow Brandon Collins. Drunk Black History, June 19th. Google it. drunkblackhistory.com. Is it drunk? Yeah, drunkblackhistory.com. Get that information, show up. We'll be there. We'll see you there. Leave a comment if you go. It's Shabuzi, baby.
This shit was fire, yo.
It's a vibe.
So run for this.